Welcome everyone to Totally Online Gaming Group. We're glad you guys could join us for our next episode, the 9th episode of Atavar Ascension. So, as always, we need to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Critical Hit Gaming Supplies. And this week, it is MegaCon, and they have a booth going to be here in Orlando at MegaCon. It's starting, what's the official
19th through 22nd.
Yep, 19th through the 22nd this month, May 2022. And it's going to be really awesome. Come check out the booth. Of course, you'll be hearing this way after the con, so travel back in time.
It out. Hope it was good, and glad you bought lots of stuff.
Yeah, or just travel back in time and come, enjoy. But they're an awesome sponsor, awesome company. Check them out. You get tons of dice bags, dice trays, miniatures galore. He's got some amazing dragons, some really big ones and everything. It's really cool. You can also go to their online site, www.criticalhitgamingsupplies.com. And if you see something there that you like and you want to buy it, make sure you use the discount code TOGG15. That's TOGG15, and you'll get 15% off your purchase. See, other announcements. I don't think there's anything we haven't announced at the last session. Lair D&D is live. Check that out. Also, actually, this is kind of an announcement. It's something... Lair D&D is live. It has its current capabilities. I hope you guys check it out. But I am probably going to be doing a Kickstarter for it in the future to add a whole bunch of other features to it. Things that I'm looking at getting done. But probably going to do it as a Kickstarter just to raise the funds for it because this shit is expensive. But like creating paid subscription tiers that you can get special perks and additional things. Plus all sorts of other fun stuff. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I think that's it for announcements on my end. Anybody else have any announcements?
Zach and I are doing streams on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday over at Nerd Culture is Dead on Twitch. We also have YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, I'm sure other things. Just look us up. We're there.
All right. Anyone else? Nope, that seems to be it. All right, well then, without further ado, we bring you Atavar Ascension. Yeah. All right, so to recap of where you guys left off, you had one hell of a fight with some kind of demonic abomination of a werewolf in his own cabin in the woods after witnessing a strange halfling. One that looked very, very familiar, especially to Leon. That spoke to him and basically told him, do your job. Quit dilly-dallying around. At which point, he wolfed out. They had an incredible fight that did end with them succeeding and not being dead, which is kind of the goal.
That is a helpful thing.
It is a helpful thing. However, upon finishing off this strange beast with its oversized height, even for a werewolf, and its just grotesquely bulging muscles with red veins glowing and pulsing through its skin, Persephone decided, I think I'm going to grab a little bit of that fruit that's on his hip and just give it a little taste. To which Ajax and Gold saw and said, what are you doing? And a little bit of a discussion ensued as to what the motivation behind all that was. Eventually, they decided to table that topic for later and start making their way back towards Kyver to inform the farmers, specifically the Lavare family that had hired them, that the job was complete and what the problem was, and that it is now solved. However, on their way back, being several miles away from the town and it already getting dark, they decided to camp for the night. Fortunately, they found a nice little campsite that seemed like a good area, good views to spot sight lines around them. And during their watches, things were peaceful, at least at first. until the third watch, when Tomer, with his keen sense of smell and sharp hearing, picked something up just a little ways away from camp. He decided to kind of get a vantage point up a tree and take a look, where he saw movement through the brushes approaching them. Deciding it best to wake up Gold and kind of get an idea what was going on, he nudged him, told him, hey, we might have visitors, then resumed his position in the tree and decided to fire a warning shot, which angered the bullet into charging and damn near chomping some of the party in twain. However, thankfully, teamwork prevailed. They did manage to survive yet again, and eventually, waking up later in the late morning, almost to the afternoon, due to their interrupted sleep, the party finally achieved their long rest and achieved 5th level. And that is where we leave off. Now, however, we're going to backtrack just a hair. Because there is something... Well, I'll just turn it over to Persephone and let her handle it from here.
Yeah, Persephone.
Hi, boys.
You're the problem.
So, as everyone is adjourning to their own respective rooms, I, as per usual, wait behind and figure out whose room I want to be in that night. And
Well, you're still... this is at camp. You're outside.
Oh, we're at camp?
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Or you were
we
waiting
made it back to the hotel.
You were waiting until we got back to the
Yeah,
hotel?
I was waiting
Okay.
back to the hotel. My bad.
Okay, so we're not traveling back in time then. You guys have woken up. I assume you just make your way back towards Kyber?
Didn't we already
Yeah, I
talk
thought
to
we
the
ended
farm?
in Kyber.
Oh, that's right.
That's
You
when she did
skipped
the chocolates.
you skipped going to the farmers first because you were exhausted.
No, we
No,
went,
we
to,
went
the
to the
farmers.
farmers.
first.
I made...
I distinctly remember
Mm-hmm.
me trying to set him up with the farmer's daughter.
And
Oh,
then
okay.
I left
Okay.
him a
We
bundle of
camped
chocolate.
before.
I'm
we got
old
back.
and my memory is shot.
Yeah, we turned
So,
in the quest
The
and then
future's
went,
now,
Yep.
old man.
we went all the way back to town. We haven't gone to
Fair
the
enough.
guild yet.
No, okay.
But
They
we
were
were
But
gonna
we,
do that
we did
the
talk to
following
the
day.
farmers.
You did
we
talk
were
to the
we
farmers.
were sleeping
So-
in the guild.
So
Or
you
in
have
the-
you have
honey
made it
pot.
back. Yeah, you have made it back, and you went to the honey pot, and well, it's still early evening when you arrive because I mean you were a few miles out, but not so far that you couldn't make it all the way back into town and to the honey pot before it got too dark out. But unless there's anything else you wanted to do before you went to bed, you guys would have a nice meal and then scutter off to bed for the evening. Probably still a little bit exhausted from the last day or two. So, anything else before bed?
Insert the same thing I said a second ago.
The only other thing I would think of is going to the guild to actually turn in the quest.
Yeah, I thought we waited for that because it was too dark when we got to...
Yeah, by this point it's probably, a little bit late to go.
Oh, it's late now? Okay.
They're not 24/7?
No.
Can I go to the drive-thru?
The
So they
guild
don't have a
drive-
Dropbox?
I'd like to get a small 50 gold quest to go, please. Can you make that a double?
I mean, honestly,
Super
I mean, do you think, Aiden's gonna sit there for
I
like
assume there's a
16-hour
night crew.
shift or something?
They got a night crew.
Yeah,
I think Aiden's an elf, so he could manage it.
We
yeah.
deal with, like, Hilda and George.
Yeah, he can deal with it, but
Does he
do you
want
think he
to?
wants to?
Probably not. It's his job. Come on, don't you love your job? I'm just kidding.
loving jobs, that's funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you can tell you're a teenager.
No, I agree with all of you.
It shows.
All right, so it is time for rest. Percy, go ahead.
As I wait for all the boys to return to their appropriate rooms, I wait, I don't know, an hour or so before I go into Gold's room. I don't knock or anything, I just make my way in, as per usual.
Okay.
Are you awake or asleep?
I imagine I'm probably asleep by now.
Alright, cool, I wake you up.
Percy, what are you doing here?
I figured I was gonna do is stupid and you should probably supervise me.
That sounds so kinky.
That sounds like either a
Wait,
young
who is
child-
who is stupid that you are doing? No.
Alright. Percy explain? What
So-
are you doing?
Well, you remember that root conversation, if that's what we're gonna call it, we were having earlier?
The root argument, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna do that again.
Don't you let her. Don't you let her.
You know I have all the root with me, right? He took it from you and then he gave it to me.
Yeah, he took it from me, alright.
Oh no.
Well, I'm glad you at least came to me. You could have just done it yourself anyway.
Yeah, I figured
At least now I can kill you if I need to.
someone's gonna bitch at me anyway, so I might as well just attempt to do this trust thing you speak of.
Okay.
This is the opposite of that.
No, I feel like this is pretty
We just
trusty.
told you not to.
This is messing with fate at this point.
Alright. I'll watch.
Alright, so I pull the root out of my pocket that you thought I gave to you.
Do you think?
And then I like it. And it's
Thought you
on
were
the
gonna eat
floor.
It tastes like
and
strawberry.
I lick it.
Eat it.
It's an enema.
Oh. That changed the entire play out of that last fight. My son! Ah!
That's fun.
Me and my short sword straight up the ass.
It's a long sword now.
I got it.
So, pardon me, I'm just looking for something.
This guy thinks we'll.
We're gonna fucking like summon Asmodeus or something.
I don't know, we'll find out. That's why I figured I'd
Jason quickly rewrites half the campaign and
Oh, no.
kill your character up.
I got a backup ready to get
There was just something I had to look at. I'm just waiting for slow computers to be slow. Okay. So, as you are sitting there, Gold, what you see as Percy takes that piece of the root and just gives it a little taste. Not actually biting any off. No, just giving it a little taste with her tongue. You see her seem to space out. It's not like anything super strange is happening to her. It's more just like she's kind of just staring off into space. Almost as if she was in a conversation that she didn't want to be in and was just ignoring the other person and just be like, sure, Except she's just kind of a vacant look on her face a little bit.
Can I make a medicine check to try and discern whether this is good or not?
Sure, I'll allow that. You are proficient in medicine?
I am not. I have a plus
Okay.
3 to medicine. I am proficient in nature, intimidation, performance, perception, stealth, and survival.
I'll give you a perception check.
Perception.
So you can see yourself fail the medicine check.
Well, we can pass it, which is what I
Don't
mean.
tell him.
That is an 11.
Again, she just looks like kind of almost like a little spaced out. As best you can tell, she doesn't seem like she's in pain or anything bad happening to her. You don't see any like bulging muscles happening or red, veins appearing or anything. It's just a little spacey.
It's the quiet ones you have to worry about. Take her out.
Persephone.
Untripped balls, man.
What you see is completely different. As that one little taste, once again, just like before, you feel like your vision has changed to not reality but a memory, buried deep, deep within, almost as if it was blocked off on purpose. And this time, all you can see is this barren hellscape. It looks like a dry, cracked desert with a red earthen clay soil and streams of lava. I mean, flowing through. I mean, it looks like the classic hellscape that when you hear that word, that's what you think.
So you think of home, yeah.
Yes. You are looking out across it. You see a city in the distance, far enough away that you can't make out details, but you know that's a city out there. You also know that you are on a little bit of a rise, a small hill, if you will, and you are looking out across this terrain towards that city. And you hear from next to you, "The time is almost here. Soon you will be ready. But not yet, my pet. Not yet."
Are you assuming it's Daddy?
Give me an insight check.
Inside, where's the fuck?
You'll be ready soon.
19.
You're pretty sure that voice.
I didn't look over and see anyone.
You don't feel like this is a memory.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something
I
you
don't have
control.
control. Gotcha.
But you recognize the voice, and then you hear from behind you to the left. "Boss, what do you want to do next?" I think we should go with... Well, no. That one would be too easy. We need a large distraction. Where should we go first? And at that point, you kind of turn your head a little bit towards the direction of that voice. But you're not so much focused on looking at at whoever it is that's saying things. You're kind of looking beyond through the hellscape, kind of to the side of the direction the city you were looking at is. In the distance, I need you to give me a perception check.
16.
Okay.
Plus
You
0 on both my rolls.
You see what looks, it's small, it's faint, it's in the distance. It is a portal.
A what?
A portal.
Ooh.
Myrtle.
And you know for a fact that is where you will be going when the time is finally right. And you're just focusing on that portal. Even from this distance, you can tell it is large, big enough that you can actually kind of see what's on the other side. You can't really make out details of it, but you can see that it looks like it is changing gradually from one place to another. And with that, let me look at something. Okay, yep. With that, you hear the voice say, "Yes, I see it now. We should go with..." And then your vision cuts off.
I assume I cut back to the hotel.
Snap back to
Mhm.
reality.
Can I?
Gold. You see, Percy, as you've been kind of staring at her now, for you, Percy, it felt like mere minutes.
Mhm.
You've been staring at her, watching her intently for an hour. And she's just been dazed. But then all of a sudden she snaps out of it. Just like that.
Well, anything?
Not exactly what I needed, but I think I'm getting closer. Can I do a little lick again?
Do it again. You want to try? You want to try to
It's
lick
like-
again?
I
That's
swear
fine.
I'm not addicted.
It's like that dream that you it was just getting to the good part.
I could stop anytime.
Do I notice that after an hour of being in this
I can
near
look into
hallucinated state that maybe she's been sweating too much or she just doesn't look right?
You are not sure.
She always doesn't look right. Have you seen her?
You are not sure because you are not proficient in medicine.
I see nothing wrong with you, so...
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Do it
okay.
again.
Oh, this all checks out.
I'm gonna do one more little licky and see if I can continue my dream.
What that
Okay.
tongue do?
You lick it, the root again. I need you to give me a Constitution save.
Alright, you ready for this? Where the fuck is it? Oh, it's actually not bad. 18 plus 5 is a 23?
You feel intensely nauseous, but you manage to, as you feel vomit kind of rising in your throat, you manage to choke it back.
Mm-hmm.
Something just didn't seem right. You didn't throw up, but it didn't affect you the same way.
Mm-hmm. Alright, I'm gonna put it back in my pocket, disappointed.
Done for the night?
Yeah, unless you want my insides to be on my outsides, I think we're good for the night.
No, I don't think I want that of you. Just stay here. I'm gonna go run down and grab you some water.
Alright. I take over his bed entirely.
Okay. Alright, so you get some water, you head back up. Anything else?
That's it. I'm gonna give her some water, make sure she's good, and go to bed.
Alright.
I took over your bed.
And that's fine. Sleep on the floor.
Alright, so nothing else happens that night. You guys all wake up nice and early in the morning. Kind of the normal time that you would. You can smell a nice hot breakfast. The scents kind of wafting up the stairs into the rooms. It is another glorious honeypot breakfast feast waiting for you downstairs.
And before we do that, I have something I like to do.
Okay.
I want to cast Sending. Alright. And I'm going to target Jonathan.
Okay.
And so 25 words or less, so let's get our fingies, boys, and
Hey
count
bud,
them.
how you doing? Nice to see ya. Miss you.
Yeah. Jonathan, I hope you can still hear me. That's not the right words, we'll go with it.
Hold on, that's not right.
I didn't say that, God damn it!
No,
Fuck!
you didn't.
I recast it. I recast it. Shit, sorry, Jonathan, I really fucked that up. Let me try again.
It just gets like the voicemails to keep retrying.
I know that I wasn't there when I said. But please meet me at Honeypot. Bye. And obviously, if he has received this message, he
can
has
respond, yes.
the option to respond 25 words.
You hear nothing for a little bit. And then, eventually what you hear is, I'll think about it.
Alright.
And that's it.
It's better than eat shit and die.
He still has 20 words. He has plenty of words to say that to you. Eat shit
I'll
and die.
think about it. Well, he still has actually 21 words. So even better.
Before you get downstairs, I
Fuck
turn
you.
over. I ask you to keep what happened last night. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
I am uncomfortable with it, but I know the others will get really upset if they know about it. So, yeah. All right. As long as you come to me and stay safe about it.
Alright. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lover's secret.
Well, I'm glad that wasn't a resounding failure.
Okay. So you guys all head down for breakfast?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Once again, like I said, a glorious breakfast awaits. It looks like things are improving at the Honey Pot slowly but surely. Ever since you helped them out with your first mission, it looks like they're doing pretty well. There are considerably more patrons than you've seen since you've been here, period. Doesn't look like, necessarily all of them are staying at the inn themselves, but lots of locals are definitely coming in for breakfast. And there are several more choices on the menu now. Looks like they're doing pretty good. And they are busy. You even see, the two oldest kids, which are still pretty young, they're now like bussing tables and, trying to help and everything. And yeah, it's getting pretty busy. But it's a nice breakfast. You enjoy, and when you attempt to pay, you find no bill arrives.
Actually, Maxwell or Alyssa, which one do I see?
You see Maxwell. He's kind of heading up the front of house while Alyssa's taking care of all the cooking right now.
Alright, I walk up to Maxwell and I say, after I've had my meal, I wanted to ask you if there's anything I could do to help. It's very busy today, I can see, and I'd like to stay here for the day.
Oh, well,
We do a
I
job
mean, you're
side quest today.
you're a patron. I can't ask you to help. And besides, we're actually, well, as you can see, we've gotten quite busy. We actually have been getting enough coming in the last couple days. We're thinking of hiring some helpers. So, you stay a patron, enjoy the service, please.
So you're certain for the time being I can't help carry things or...
No. But he kind of looks you up and down. Do you have any instruments on you?
Yes, I always carry my my lute on me.
Yeah, his eyes rest on that lute and he says, "It's been a while since we've had music in here." He kind of looks over towards the corner of the tavern, and there is it's a small raised platform.
Mhm.
And he says, "If you want to do something nice to help, make some atmosphere."
Wonderful. I suppose I do need to freshen up. Would you have me roll performance for this?
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
he said atmosphere. I thought he meant like hailstorm.
All I'm saying,
I will sound
play a
thunder.
mean tambourine.
Actually, no. That's Ajax's job to change the atmosphere.
Yes.
All right.
Shamlo, grant me power.
Speaking of which, I'm going to go
Performance plus
pay a visit to the church today.
Okay.
All right, that's a 19 for performance.
Nice. Oh yeah, everyone is into it, and in fact, the crowd starts to get a little bit excited and kind of upbeat and happy, and some people start ordering harder drinks than you would normally expect in the morning time. It seems like you've kind of gotten them riled up in a good way.
Wonderful.
Time to get day drunk.
Woo!
I sort of look at the rest of the party, if they're around. I'm assuming they are. In between songs, of course. I say, so what's the plan for today?
Well, actually, while you were doing that, I was going to head out into town and take care of a few things.
All right.
I think we just take a rest day today.
I figured if anything, stop by the guild and turn in our quest.
I planned on doing that.
Step 1.
Anyone care to join?
I'll go.
Yup.
Alright.
All right. While y'all are doing that, I'm gonna continue.
Actually, you know what? I'll go with Ajax.
The bar
Cut a
do
hole in the
bar
box.
things.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
amazing.
Step 2.
I'll leave the couple to be by themselves.
Yeah, something by the church, the library, and then the weapon shop.
I know one of those three places.
I figured the liquor store would be on that list.
No, we already had
Yeah,
liquor.
Yeah, we already
that's
had the
what
liquor.
was
Oh, you had beer.
Yeah.
But they had the beer before liquor.
He's more of
Never
a
been
beer drinker
Never been
anyway.
sicker. All right, so where do you guys head?
I'm going with my boy Ajax.
Yeah,
Alright.
I'm just headed. What's closest? I don't really have dialogue planned for the church. I'm really just gonna connect and pray to Shimlo.
Okay, Shimlo is a fairly powerful, fairly higher up there god. There is a church of Shemlo in town. It is not the main one that is right off of the main square. But it is close. It is like a block over. Not quite as big as some of the other churches, but still pretty decent size. Takes you a good 25 minutes or so, 30 minutes to walk over that way. But you get over there, and this building is striking to look at.
Lightning striking?
You took the words from my mouth. As you look upon this structure, again, not quite as big as some of the larger churches around, but it is built out of the purest white marble. And running through the marble itself, the veins and the cracks, it almost looks like those veins and cracks were like put there by design, as they really resemble like black lightning going through the white marble, going from the top and striking towards the bottom through every column in the front. You also see the same thing. It is absolutely gorgeous, and
as it should be.
In the morning sun, it is just like gleaming. That sunlight is just like making it look like it is aglow as you stand before it, where it's got these nice wide steps leading up to, compared to the rest of it, a fairly simple wooden door. Heavy, some iron in there to reinforce it, but not as ornate as the rest of the front of the building is.
All right. This is kind of how I'm explaining my level up spell, by the way. So I'm going to go in.
Okay. You reach for the door, and I mean it's unlocked. It just swings open at your touch. Inside is a fairly wide open entryway to the chapel itself. As you walk through into the chapel, you see what you would equate to a typical church. Pews line along either side of a central row that leads up. But halfway up, it goes from pews to now what you see as prayer mats. As in Shenlo's religion, those of higher station are expected to prostrate themselves before Shenlo, as opposed to sitting in a bench.
I have to look up a definition real quick. Prostrate.
Basically,
Hands and knees.
Fair enough.
hands and knees, bowing down and stuff. And it's just
it's
a
not
different level of
prostate.
devotion. It's a different level of devotion. It's like the lay person, goes to worship and, sits in a bench, listens to the sermons of the priests and, says their prayers and, oh, great. Okay, now let's go to Denny's. Whereas clerics of Shem, paladins of Shem, the clergy and those like that would attend a service, their level of devotion is greater, and they want to prove themselves to Shenlo by the physical act of being on one's knees before their god, or in the house of their god. Okay. So there are mats set up for those who wish to do that. And then when you go further, there is then an altar raised up. The altar itself is very unique in that you haven't seen this in other churches of Shemlo before, because, well, every place is unique in how they build things. but also you really don't spend a lot of times in major cities. You've spent a little bit in your past, but not a lot. Coming in here, you see the altar itself is actually made out of wood that looks like it has scars through it.
Struck by lightning.
Yes,
That's cool.
there you go. Which is exactly what you would know that almost instinctively. That, of course, they would do. They would use wood that's been struck by lightning to build this altar.
Blessed by Shimlo.
Mm-hmm. And as you go up there is not currently a service being held, but there is a priest who is right before the altar, kneeling before it, and looks to be deep in prayer, seems to be running some kind of something. You can't quite see because their back's to you and their hands are in front, but there's movement in front of them, as if maybe they're running like rosary bead type thing through their fingers or something. But, that's what you see.
Just for context, would it be considered a bad or disrespectful if I were to kneel at the altar? Or should I go to one of the mats just for context?
You know what? Give me a religion check. Not too
I
difficult.
should hope I wouldn't need.
Yeah, it's not very difficult, but there are different customs in different churches in different cities.
Ooh, that's not very good.
Did you roll a 1?
No.
Okay, you're good.
Okay.
You just didn't have to botch it, basically.
Yeah. It was a 9.
Yeah. Oh yeah, perfect. You had to get a 5, basically. I figured if you didn't roll a 1, you'd probably good. But no, you figure it's probably best if you don't kneel at the altar
On the mat.
You're not an ordained priest of Shemlo.
Fair enough.
You're one of the lesser clergy, so to speak.
All right.
Damn, that burns. That must burn.
Mhm. And
That's what we're here for.
Tomer, you're with him, yes?
I'm going to stand outside the church.
Yeah.
You're just kind of standing outside?
Respectfully.
Yeah, I'm going to respect my boy's wishes.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to go to one of the mats. I'm going to kind of remove my heavier equipment, lay it on the floor next to me, have the prayer symbol in my hand, and I'm going to clutch it and kneel my head in prayer and say, Shimlo, I need to become stronger. I need to be able to protect my friends around me and bring punishment to those that would bring them harm. How can I become stronger?
Okay. Give me a wisdom saving.
Ooh.
What? Your God.
Shimlo just kills you immediately.
He is evil. Oh, that's going to pass. I got it's a save. Holy shit. I got a 25.
Wow.
I think you failed.
The pass was 30. Die.
You feel almost like this powerful presence before you, and you cannot help yourself but instantly if your head had not already been down, it is now, and your eyes are shut tightly. You feel this presence as if it was standing right before you. You feel a touch on the back of your head as if someone's resting their hand on it. And then you hear in the back of your mind, go forth, my child. Continue on the path. Strength will find you. It already has. Search in yourself. And then it's as if the blinds closed on this brilliant light. For a moment you feel empty. As if when it left, it was just nothing there. And almost without thinking, you pop your head up and look around, searching for that feeling again. You see the priest hasn't moved an inch. Definitely wasn't him with his hand on your head. And in fact, you're the only two in here that you saw at all.
I bow my head again and say, of course. Thank you, Shimlo.
And as you thank your god, you do feel something different. A mote of possibility within you. Something that maybe you can shape into a way to help your friends and yourself. And that would be the spell.
Excellent. All right, I stand back up. I start putting my equipment back on.
All right.
And I go out and meet Tomer.
He was in there for maybe about half an hour.
That's fine. I would just be outside, just chilling up against the thing, just smoking the pipe.
All right. So they've been gone for about an hour. What are you three doing? Well, you're singing and dancing and whatever.
Musicking.
Mm-hmm. How about you two? Watcher and Root Liquor?
We're off to the guild to turn the quest.
Okay. So, yeah. Again, half hour, 45-minute walk.
Oh, no, I'm taking the horse.
Oh, you're taking the horse. Okay, you guys get there in about 15 minutes.
We paid for the horses. We might as well use them.
He's not on a horse, it's just you.
Actually, I'm pretty sure we stole these horses.
Going at walking speed, but still on the
We
horse.
bought other horses.
Alright, well, I'm going to use the horse.
Alright. So, yeah, if you're using horses, you using a horse?
Yeah, we're using horses.
Alright. Yeah. So you get there about 15, 20 minutes. About a little better than half the time, basically. And once again, you find yourselves walking into the Freelancers Association.
I assume not on horseback
Oh, no.
No,
you would...
We would take the horse ride in there. It's
you-
fine.
You've kind of gotten acquainted with the procedures here. You know that you kind of basically move off to the side of the main entryway.
You leave your vehicles at the door.
Yeah, well, you move
Take your
over
shoes
to
off.
the right of the main entryway to that side of the building, and there is like a little pathway that kind of leads to some stables that are available that you know for the guild that you can drop off any horses or carts or whatever, and you drop them off and actually take the internal walkway to go right from there into the main entry hall. And sure enough, your buddies are once again at their posts.
Speaking of buddies, I specifically want to keep an eye out for Harland or any of the people in that group that we came across before. I'm
Okay.
curious to see if they're who I think they are in here.
Okay. All right. So you are you're looking for Harlan and any of
I'm
those
not
that
going
you
like
saw.
out of my way to look,
Right.
but like as we're going. just
Right.
kinda
You're looking for Harlan
keeping
and
an eye
any
out.
of the ones that you saw in the Horny Halfling.
Mhm.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. You are currently in the main entry hall, in front of the kind of administrative desks, as always. So, up to you what you do.
We're gonna turn that question.
Yep, I'm just gonna walk up to the left station and the elf paperwork and hey, we've got a quest to turn in.
Okay. So, I assume you go over to Aiden.
Yep.
And he says, yes, let me see.
I
Ah.
put the gold on the table.
Excellent. And he looks through. Okay, yes. Our cut, as always. And this is for you. That is your cut. 350 gold you receive. And he says, looks like you are doing quite well so far.
We do work.
Have you been practicing? I noticed your signatures for the advancement arenas.
I think we do good enough work. We could be above an A.
You meant to say great work.
Oh, I'm humble.
No, he said what he said.
But no practice.
I think the best practice comes from being in the field.
Get us a
A
mission
valid
copy.
point. Must be ready for anything then.
Decker, throw it in
Yeah,
my
I was
back.
like, he punches you in the face.
Turn it around like.
He says, so will you be taking out a new mission?
For now, no. We're gonna stay in town and get our bearings, and we'll be back to take another job on.
I'd like to look at your jobs while
Yeah,
I'm
you can
here,
take
though.
one. I picked the.
All right.
Did I pick the last one?
Yeah.
Yes,
you
you did.
picked the last two.
Said,
Does it-
unfortunately, right now, we are quite thin, as apparently many are, well, they have the same opinion that you do. Best experience and practice is, well, it's going out there. There is currently only one that I can find. If I can actually find it.
Excellent.
And correct me if I'm wrong, we still have like 3 weeks before we have to do our trial, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Alright, where is it? There we go. I only have one. However, this one... This would be quite difficult.
What makes you
Especially
say
if
that?
you are intending to be back in time before the advancement trials.
Alright, well, I guess that settles it.
Well,
But
let's at
you
least
you
see.
can have a look anyway.
Read it out loud for the audience.
Caravan guards needed 45 GP per guard per week, plus a bonus for safe arrival. Speak with Nathaniel Crawford for details. Find him at the Hideaway Tavern in Grile.
Do we have a rough time frame in terms of like how long it would take us to get there and then how long it takes to get back?
Did I hear caravan guards?
Well, it just says
No, I know, but just like
you have no idea because it doesn't know where the caravan's going.
We need to discuss it with Nathaniel Crawford first before taking up the quest, because if we take this up
my bad. No, I thought
and we're not back,
I thought it gave the
we
location.
lost out on
Nope.
Yeah, no, understood.
No location given, just said speak to
Okay.
Nathaniel Crawford.
Gotcha.
I think we'll speak to Nathaniel before accepting the quest. Figure out the
Very
details first before we sign up for something.
Very good. Will you be needing anything else today?
I don't think so. Thank you as always.
Very well.
Before we leave, I want to head to the tavern equivalent of what's in
Ah,
here.
yes,
The mess hall.
the mess hall.
There we go. Thank you.
Yep. So, you join her, I assume.
Yep.
All right. So you guys kind of make your way down that hallway, past the low-level, quote-unquote, rooms for rent. Take your right turn at the far end hallway, and eventually coming up on your left, sure enough, the mess hall. The door is wide open. It's actually like big double door set, wide open, and it is still fairly early, so they're still serving breakfast, and there are plenty of adventurers in there.
Do I see any of my new buddies?
Give me perception check.
I will help you with that.
3.
That's probably a good thing because
You're going to assist.
advantage.
Okay, so roll with advantage.
11.
A little better.
So that is, what is your highest there?
11.
11? Yeah.
I can't see shit. I don't know why I'm bothering to
He
look.
should have rolled.
He should have, but it's fine. He doesn't know what I'm looking
Yo,
for.
Gold, look for my friends.
I haven't told him.
Yes, as you're looking around, there's a lot of adventurers in here. You think some of it might have to do with the fact that the trials are going, and in fact, what you do pick up is mostly you can hear talk at tables close to, where you're standing, and people are talking about, oh yeah, I heard the Firebrand group is they're going to be in there tomorrow. Ooh, can't wait to watch that one. Oh, that's going to be a nice one. Yeah. Well, so you remember what happened to him last year? Yeah, that was pretty unfortunate, but whew, can't wait to see it again. See if they can do better this year.
So wait, are these things that we can watch?
Apparently,
You're not there. You can't really ask anyone.
True. That's fair. I'm asking just out of curiosity. Ajax wouldn't know, but I'm curious.
I'm gonna then wander off to the training situation. Same kind of thing.
Okay. You head over there, looking around. Give me another perception check.
I'm ready for you to roll up.
Now 20.
Woo!
That'll work.
I see everything in the training grounds.
In the training room, there are several people in there.
Fucking heartbeat sensor.
Of note, of people you have seen before,
The girl who kicked his ass.
you see D in
Yep.
there. She always seems to be in there.
Mhm.
You also do see that Dragonborn that you guys saw the first time that was in there, and the female dwarf. The first time you and Leon went in there. They're also in there, but there's also several other people.
Does Dee seem to be hanging around with anyone? Like, is it clear that she's
She
with
is.
a group, or is she always by herself?
She is by herself. It seems like everybody avoids her.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, give me an insight check.
Insight is 8.
Okay.
The way you say
Yeah,
that.
and
More like outside.
you're looking at her and you're going, man,
Pretty
they
woman.
must just be so intimidated by how hot she is.
I mean, I get it. It's
I
fine.
mean, that's why no one
Bad
approaches her.
bitch.
I'm surprised Leon did. I mean, she's hot. That's your impression.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh,
solid.
this is the one that whooped you.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
100%. It was fun to watch. Hey, Gold. Why don't you
For the record, I defeated
you
Golden
wanna
Spawn.
come with me and see if we can watch any of these trials somewhere? Or
Yeah, I had some other plans for today. If you want to go ahead, I'm gonna go do my own thing for a bit.
all right. And I'm gonna start asking around and see if I can watch any of these trials while Gold fucks off.
Okay. Where are you going to fuck off to?
Who's
I'm gonna look and see if there's an animal shelter anywhere.
Okay. All right.
Did we take 1 or 2 horses?
2,
Okay.
1 each.
Sure.
Sure. Why don't you give me an investigation check as you're kind of searching around, and Persephone, you give me one as well as you're trying to ask around and.
You said an investigation?
Yep.
3.
Ooh, I got a
3.
7.
It's a nat 1, by the
Oh
way.
my god. 3 and a 7.
We're doing
So
great.
you guys are.
You should just
Your dice are
passively
hating
incite
on you
this.
tonight.
Well, I did some of the good ones earlier. It's
Yes.
fine.
So, Gold, you don't seem to be having any luck for the longest time. How long do you plan on spending looking?
An hour or so.
An hour? You don't find any information. Everyone that you ask, or just as you're kind of wandering around looking, you don't see any anywhere. And everyone that you ask has either no clue or, they just don't really, pay attention to you and just kind of like, leave me alone, walk away, they're rude, or they just generally don't know. Persephone,
Yo.
most of the people give you the cold shoulder,
Yeah.
mostly because they're like,
I'm a chief.
I'm busy training here.
Well, no, I wasn't going to ask in the train. I was going to ask back in the
Oh, back in
mess
the time.
hall.
Yeah,
Sorry, that would make more sense.
back in the mess hall, it's more like we're trying to have a conversation here. We're drinking. Can you just not?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you do get the feeling that some of that is because, well, look at you with your horns and all that. That's just a little odd. Not very common around here. Little bit of prejudice there, but eventually,
When I go to Aiden and ask.
yes. He says, "Well, yes, you can."
I have some info on where, when,
They're happening now.
where.
I do not have the time to show you myself, but just go to the training ground and look for the door. If you can find the door, then you can watch.
Alright. Thanks. I go back to the training ground and probably don't find a door.
We'll see. All right, so while all that's going on, Leon,
Yes.
you've just been singing away for a long period of time. Are you just sticking around there, still doing the same?
I'm being very hopeful. Maybe if I perform well enough, I'll get a little bit of gold while we're at it.
You actually do. It seems like the honeypot's getting some as people have been, sticking around longer, ordering some more food and drink.
Mm-hmm.
But some actually do throw some coins your way. You end up, over the course of about 2 hours of playing, you end up with about 4 gold and 11 silver and 23 copper.
I quietly deposit the coins to where Maxwell would have easy access to them, but none of the other patrons would.
What a nice guy.
Okay.
Tip jar.
Fair enough, yeah. You put him in the tip jar. Sounds good.
Yay!
As you're doing that, give me a perception check.
Oh boy! Here I go receiving again. Perception is +4. Nice. So that's going to be a 15.
Okay. As you are finding the best place to put these coins so that Maxwell is sure to get them and not one of the other patrons, even though you don't feel that any of the other patrons would just take the money.
I don't think they just take it, but it's better to be cautious.
Yeah. You catch out of the corner of your eye, the door swings open, which it's been happening off and on throughout, the 2 hours of the morning.
Mm-hmm.
But it just catches your eye, and you see a young man walk in and grab a seat in a small at a small table, a little ways away from the door. He just kind of sits down. He's looking around. Doesn't seem to notice you at first.
Does he look familiar to me?
Mm-hmm. It is clearly Jonathan.
Alright. I slowly approach him, gently strumming on my lute as I do.
All right. He looks up when he hears the music and he hears it getting louder, and he sees you. Just a kind of a deadpan look on his face. Not smiling, not frowning, just like, oh, it's you.
I have a smile on my face. As I approach him, I say, Jonathan, I'm so glad to see you. I really truly feel terrible, awful about not being there for you. I really want to see whatever kind of youth with... What are you doing, my guy? I'm gonna get you. Man. That is true. I'm not saying I don't appreciate it. I'm very confused. Okay, I want to see youth that reminds me of myself growing up to realize their full potential. And in that end, I did fail. My group and I, we got dragged away for an important mission, and since then, I can't focus with you.
Just don't look that
Just
way.
ignore him, alright. Since then, we've been wrapped up in quite the plot involving some kind of almost demonic substance. But I'm here now, and I want to establish a proper connection.
I mean, honestly, all I just heard was a bunch of excuses, and, I mean, is that supposed to be an apology?
I'm sorry. Truly. You don't have to forgive me, but I'd like you to give me a chance. I gave you a chance in that alleyway. Can I roll a persuasion? That's gonna be a 27.
Oh! Okay.
So persuasive.
I'm not even going to bother rolling.
I saw you grab the tray, and as soon as I heard the number, I was like, yeah, you could put that dice tray
Yeah.
back and use it.
Yep. So, yeah. He looks at you and he says, all right. But you're buying me breakfast first, because I'm hungry as hell.
You've got it. So I of course head off to Maxwell, and what is the most extravagant, expensive item they have on the menu that also seems the most appealing?
There's a lot to pick from. But as far as breakfast items,
I don't know how old Jonathan is. I think you said he was like a young adult looking.
Yeah. As far as breakfast items, if you're just going based purely off price, the most expensive would basically be a honey glazed ham and eggs, meal that comes with a whole bunch of stuff to it. Sounds really good, looks really good. It is the most expensive. But I mean, they also have some other things that sound amazing that aren't necessarily as expensive.
Such as?
Think it's like a giant Belgian waffle that is like a honey syrup glaze on it, with like a whipped cream and fresh fruit, and it's like that freaking big, and that thick, it's huge.
Well,
So there's several things to choose from.
before I go up to Maxwell, then I'm actually going to ask Jonathan. I'm going to say, before I order for you, I'd like to know, which do you prefer, sweet or savory? Fair warning, everything in this place is a little sweet because of the honey, but some is more than others.
Honestly, savory sounds good, but I don't really care. I'm just hungry.
All right. I'll head up to Maxwell then, and I'll get that most expensive item.
Okay.
So, how much is that?
5 gold. I told you, it's expensive.
I'm okay with that.
It is by far the most expensive food on the breakfast menu.
On the planet!
Yeah, no, on the
Shake
breakfast
gold.
menu. They're making their profit margins on that one by far.
Yeah, well,
It's a new addition.
bought it. So, like, honey glazed ham with, what was it?
Honey glazed ham with eggs to order, basically,
Alright.
as well as there's other things like a couple different sweetbreads and things like that with it. Some fresh fruit, some cheeses on the side, and stuff like that.
And how
I
much?
mean, it's a platter. It's big.
Yeah. How much would one of those teas go for? The honey teas.
Oh, the teas are relatively cheap. That's a few silver.
All right. Few as in 5.
Mm-mm. Yeah, not the literal definition of a few. It's like 2.
Okay. I'm just trying to track these.
Yeah.
Sorry.
2 silver, and that's actually kind of expensive for tea.
Okay, so 1 gold piece is 10 silver. So subtract 1 gold. Math. We love math, folks.
Mm-hmm.
I only operate in gold. They're like, oh, it's 1 silver. I'm like, here's a gold.
And now my D&D Beyond is going. All right, crazy.
Worry about your money in a little bit.
Okay.
So what now?
I bring the meal to him once it's ready, or I suppose I sit down and wait for the meal to arrive. And then once he's got his meal, whatever his reaction is, he can eat up and all that. And then I'd like to ask him to come outside with me to a fairly like open, safe area, and try to convince him to learn some basics of swordplay with me. Nothing crazy, but
Nothing kinky, just
nothing kinky.
normal sword play.
Normal sword.
We'll make sure to bring protection.
We're not playing swords. This is actually sword play, not play swords. Yes. So he seems to be in a little bit more amenable and a little better mood after getting some good food in his belly. In fact, surprisingly, as much food as there was,
He ate all of it?
he ate it all.
Alright.
And you can tell he's hurting because of it, but he doesn't care. It's like one of those, this was a bad idea, but I don't give a shit.
Alright.
And so he goes like out and kind of to the back alley area with you, and he's like, okay, so now what?
Alright. So first we'll want to work on your stance. And I start to sort of direct him on how you want to place your leg position and everything. And how you make sure to distance yourself from your opponent, the way you hold your blade, all that kind of stuff. And, of course, asking him to take out the dagger that I lent him.
All right, so how long are you going to spend kind of teaching him?
I'd say we could train for maybe 2 hours.
Okay. All right, go ahead and roll 2 performance checks to see how you perform as a teacher.
All right, 2 performance checks. So the first one will be a 14. The second one will be a 9, unfortunately.
Okay. All right. So that's happening there. Ajax and Tomer.
Yeah.
Put them phones down. What's up? What do you guys do?
All right.
What's next?
Off to the weapons store.
Yeah, I need something shiny.
Toy shop.
Yes.
The
Our version of a toy shop.
new definition of adult toy store.
All right, we're gonna head there.
Okay. Yeah. Doesn't take you too long. It's easy to find.
What you buying?
A shop,
I'm getting a big hammer
and it's
and a long sword.
now it depends on exactly what you're looking for. If you are looking for like weapons,
Yes.
there's plenty of that available in the market. You're not, and there's even some shops like actual, instead of like stalls, but like shops that have some like weapons, and it's more of like a mix of weapons and tools and stuff like that. They're not necessarily the highest quality stuff, but there is stuff there.
Yeah, I'd go to the weapons place just for
Yeah.
getting a decent quality of...
If you're looking for better quality, then you would probably want to go more towards the merchant areas. And if you look where our map of the zones is, I think it's under one of those sheets there. There you go. There's the zones. Okay. You would actually...
Where are we now?
Well, you would actually want to go toward... You're in the bowl.
Okay.
I mean, pretty much most of your time is spent in the bowl. But you would actually want to go kind of partway into Eastgate. Near the bowl, where Eastgate and the bowl meet, Eastgate is kind of the slums of the city, but right next to the bowl, that's where it's more of the utility, like blacksmiths,
right.
tanners, jobs that make a lot of heat, stink, noise, stuff like that people don't necessarily want to live right next to. So
Fair
it's kind of on the outskirts of the slums.
That's fine. I might get you armor.
Sounds good.
But that's where you'll find like specialists that I'm a blacksmith that specializes in weaponry or armor or whatever.
Yeah, we'll go to the blacksmiths there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it takes you a little bit of time, not super long because you were already in the general area of the bowl in the center market, but maybe about another 15 minutes or so walking. You now find yourself clearly surrounded by a little bit lower end structures, not quite as well built. Some even, occasionally you'll see one that looks like it's pretty beat up and falling down almost. Some of them are decent quality, but they're just not in the best shape. It's like people don't have the money to spend on building maintenance and upkeep, unless they know how to do it themselves, kind of thing. But there are plenty of different shops around here that are like specialty artisans, like blacksmiths, tanners, any of those dirtier jobs, hard physical labor, stuff like that. You even find some, some like major, masonry and stuff like that, and some carpentry, but more like the building into carpentry, which of course they actually have a nice building.
I bet you they build it themselves.
Yes, but you see a lot of those kind of jobs and shops like that. So do you just kind of go to the first blacksmith you see, or
If it's distinguishable what type of blacksmith they are from the outside,
Or
yeah,
just
but-
see which one seems like the best quality to what we can
So you're going to take some time to kind of look around a little bit.
and we're gonna
Browse.
waste. If we're gonna waste good money on it, might as well be somewhat worthwhile.
You see 3 different ones as you're walking through, taking your time kind of looking around. As far as you can tell, between the 3 different shops, or blacksmith stores, whatever you want to call them, one of them clearly is focused on armor. Another one seems to be kind of cornering the market on tools, horseshoes, and the like. And then the third seems to be a little bit of a mix. Like, they've got a few horseshoes, a few nails, a few shovels, and other tools here. An odd piece of armor, but the majority is weapons.
You want to get your weapons first?
Sure.
We'll take care of you first, then I'll go to the armor man.
Yeah, I'll take a look at the armor place as well, so we'll go to both.
Alright, okay. Weapons and weird stuff first.
Right.
Weapons and weird, you got it. Which, coincidentally,
Is that what it's called?
that is its name now.
Weapons and weird stuff.
Weapons and weird.
The woo-woo shop.
Woo-woo.
The wow.
Wow.
Walls.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Just look at that. It was just like...
Okay, so what are you looking for in particular?
I am looking for a maul and a longsword.
All right.
Big old hammer.
You are looking for Darth Maul
Yep.
and
Dual-sided hammer.
and a long sword. Okay. So just a nice quality longsword and a maul. Okay.
Oh, maul.
So you can see it looks like he's got some displayed up, and that's how you knew that they did some weapons. There are some like hanging up against a wall that's kind of behind. It's not an enclosed shop. Most of these like blacksmiths are mostly open air. It's a large kind of footprint building, mostly open air, but they have kind of like a clearly defined like counter space to separate their workspace and where they're making everything from where customers are allowed to go. So it's not like you can just walk right into where the forge is. There's some clear delineation with like counters and stuff like that.
Yeah, I assume they had some stuff on display behind them.
And all the stuff is like on like walls or something like there, hanging up or back there behind where the counter is. You see, there's a couple different kinds of warhammers, mauls, things like that. Several different swords, short swords, long swords, rapiers, stuff like that. And as I said, there's some kind of off on one side. There's some odds and ends: horseshoes, nails, shovels, pickaxes, all that kind of stuff.
All right. Nothing too wild, just the weapons I was looking for?
The weapons you were looking for are there. I mean, if you want one of those, or if it depends. I mean, you gotta talk to
I'm
the
just
guy.
looking at what he had. Is he in there? Is he
Yeah,
up front?
he's banging away on an anvil right now with some glowing piece of metal. He seems to be working that metal on the anvil.
Greetings, I say. I am looking to purchase a maul and a longsword.
Maul and a longsword, eh? All right. Give me a moment. He makes his way over. Yeah, he's looking over here. He's like, all right, tell me which one you like.
I'm going to pick the one that looks like it's the nicest.
All right, he just kind of points at a couple until you finally kind of shake your head or say yes.
A hammer's a hammer's a hammer.
Yeah, he takes it down, and I mean this guy's got some beef to him.
One hands it.
He basically one hands it off the shelf, then just kind of walks it over. Says, here you go.
How much?
There's 10 gold.
Deal. I fork over 10 gold for that.
All right.
And then I ask about the longsword as well. And once again, I'll just pick
Nicest one, huh? So he just walks straight over to one, picks it up. It's my finest work. See this edge? Watch. He goes over and he's got a couple like dummies built, behind there, and these are like solid wood. And he goes one hand, and he goes, and he cuts the arm off one of the dummies.
Impressive.
I'm doing good.
I see that. How much for the sword?
It's my finest work. 50.
Deal.
Shit, should ask for 75. All right, you got yourself a long sword and a maul.
Awesome.
It's a pretty sword. Looks good.
Excellent.
If only it was +1 for all that fanfare.
That's okay. It spiced it up. I like it.
What, you think I can make a +1 sword?
I'm not here. I swear. I'm innocent.
What do I look like, Santa Claus?
Alright. My turn. I want to shop.
Yep.
You want something too?
You got anything better than scale mail?
You want to talk to
That's
her?
what I thought.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
And, yep.
We'll walk over to the armor.
Okay. Take,
Flintstones running
walk across. Yeah. you walk down basically like another block and a half to get to that other one you passed that has the armor. And surprisingly, when you actually take a close look at this shop, that's not a big burly guy.
Big burly
Fucking
woman.
rail thin, like
Whoa.
5'2" woman.
She's not a brick house.
And
She's a twig house.
she's tiny. And you're figuring, how the hell can she, swing the hammer all day and do all that? But if you sit there and you're watching her, stupid computer, you sit there and watch her for a little bit. Looks like she's got some kind of different technique. She's not working with like big hunks of metal. She's working with smaller pieces, and she seems to be really taking her time with each one. And then, she'll like fuse them to other pieces to make larger pieces. Interesting technique. Weird. Don't know if that's better or worse than any others. But what she has on display, at least it looks nice.
I'm going to try to get her attention, but not try to distract her from what she's doing. Excuse me?
Yes, can I help you?
Yeah, me and my buddy here are looking for some armor.
You come to the right place.
You got anything better than scale mail in here?
What you be wanting?
What scale mail? It's I gotta go scale mail and something else.
I think
Breastplate.
half-plate.
Breastplate and then
There's
half-plate.
breastplate, half plate, then you get into the heavy. I can't
Well,
speak to it. Heavy armors, ring
I
mail,
can-
chain mail, splint.
I'm only proficient with medium and light.
Okay, so breastplate and half plate are the
How
are the
much?
higher options.
How much for a breastplate?
That's quite a bit of coin. You sure you got that on you?
Depends how much you overcharge me.
She kind of looks you up and down and says, "You really got 400 gold on you?"
All the thugs on the
Almost.
street. All the thugs on the street look up. I can spot you 13.
If I sold you my old armor,
Oh, that's right. I wanted to sell some of my.
if I sell you my old armor, would that take a little bit off the top?
And I wouldn't take it off the top, but I could take it in trade. Let me see. Well, you're wearing it, right?
Yeah, I just lift up my shirt.
Yeah.
Grody, covered in blood and hair.
She comes around the counter and she looks at it. I mean, it's been hit a few times. It's got a little bit of damage here and there. What type is it?
It is scale mail.
Scale mail? Okay. She takes a look at it and she says, best I can do on that and still make a profit because I'm going to have to put work into it. I can take 20 off the top for it. That's it.
What if I throw in the great sword?
She points to her shop and says,
So from 400 to 20 less, it'd be 380. No, 370.
We're 13 short.
380.
You'll have 7 gold to your name.
I'm just curious.
Ain't that your Moon Touch greatsword though?
No, I have a Moon Touch greatsword, and then I have a great sword. I have 2 great swords.
I didn't even know. Yeah.
I just want to see what the difference would be if I did get the other armor. Let's see what the difference is. If anything, if you want any, you can figure out what you want.
It dawned on me that I probably don't have enough money for
it. It
that.
doesn't do anything for me. My armor will still say it's 16. I would have to go higher than.
what's your dexterity modifier?
My dex modifier is +2.
No, with, yeah. Yes.
It's not
Breastplate doesn't change that at all. The difference is you do not have disadvantage on stealth checks in Breastplate.
Or you do or don't.
You do not. Scale mail, you have disadvantage on stealth checks.
Wow.
Breastplate, you do not.
So it's the same AC?
It's the same AC,
Oh, that's
but it
pretty
is
good.
actually lighter overall, so you don't have disadvantage on stealth checks. If you get half plate,
You just won't have
you get
disadvantage.
one higher AC, but you're back to disadvantage on stealth.
You'll be broke. How much do you want to stealth?
That's fine. I'll see if we can get something else. So I'll put it in the chat.
And you, she's like staring at you, like, what the fuck are you? Kind of stare.
I just chuckle at her and then say, what do you got in terms of plate gear? I don't think I got the money for that on me right now. I'm just looking for a price range.
Well, she again looks you up and down. For the size of you, you would have to be extra.
Fuck.
But the best I can do, normal, non-your size, is about 1,500, and that's
Ooh.
that is
I cough.
that's more for very plain. But if you wanted something a little bit better, of course the cost goes up, and as big as you are, that's going to take more material. So
Understood. Got to do a little bit of saving.
Jason, out of game question. Is it possible if I give her my old armor, I give her extra money for material, she can change it into plate armor? Or half plate, no breastplate, whatever the hell it's called.
Not for that price. She points to a very simple looking half plate armor. 750.
Hey, we'll come back another
We'll come
day.
back.
We gotta save a little
We
bit.
gotta
But
make
steel is
some
heavier
more
than
money.
feathers.
See, he knows.
He's not even there.
I know.
That's favoritism.
But steel is heavier than feathers.
That's a pretty good impression.
Thank you.
Let's just offload our other weapons to see if he'll buy them
We gotta get paid.
I don't get it.
soon. Well, there's still something I need to do over here.
Correct me if I'm wrong. So when we went to the
You're wrong.
farm, they handed us 2 bags. One of which is our cut, the
Yep.
other which goes to the guild.
Yep.
Then we went to the guild, turned it in. They gave us that same sack we
Well,
already had.
he just said,
Well,
He
that's what
put
I'm
the
saying.
money up, so he just put-
technically speaking, we did get the gold already. We got
Yeah,
it last
okay.
time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure we didn't
Yeah, he
obtain
just-
more gold.
Yeah, he just made sure you,
Yeah, so
you
we
put 2
already
bags
got it
there,
from
so he
that.
was like, okay, oh yeah, this is our cut. Here, that's yours.
So we did already divvy it up last time.
If you did, yeah.
I'm going to pop back over real quick so I stop taking up so much time. And I'm going to see if he'll buy my old mace.
A mace.
Hasn't been used yet by me currently. I mean, it's probably been used at some point.
I can give you 2 gold.
Deal. And I give it to him, and
All right, he takes it.
What do you need in the library?
I'm going to do some studying. Again, I'm looking for ways to gain power through magic, and one of my spells that I can use is a little bit different than the others, and I'm looking into that a little bit more. Darker magic.
That's fine. I'll help you study. I got magic in me too. Might as well learn what the hell it is.
Alright, so I'm going to add the 2 gold to my inventory, subtract the mace, and we'll head off to the library, and then that way we're not taking up all the
Okay.
We're gonna
Screen
be
time.
Nerds.
And good timing. You 2.
Hi.
Well, you actually kind of split up again, but
Stop splitting the party.
yeah, we got like a 5-way split going here.
It's what we're
Almost
best at,
4.
splitting the party.
I need a perception check, Persephone.
I have a question. Since I hit the nat 20 when I was in there earlier, does that roll over or no?
You were not looking for this.
I know. 17.
You just happen to notice, out of the several people that are in here, several of them are working out. Training, fighting each other, or, as D is, training on her own. You do notice there are a couple people that, in one of the back corners, it looks like they did something to one of the weapon racks against the wall, and then, like this stone door, like almost appeared out of nowhere as the wall itself, like a portion of it, swung open. They walked through, and then it closed behind them.
What I miss?
Nothing,
Door.
since you're not there.
Go over to the magic door.
All right. What are you going to do to open it? Nothing happens.
Hello?
You're supposed to leave the last 2 knocks for the other person.
I know. It's fine.
I said something.
It's shaving a
Good try.
haircut. Etiquette.
Yeah, well, clearly, I wasn't paying attention.
I'll give you an investigation check.
1.
Yeah, you find you have no idea how to open this door. You know it's there.
I'm gonna step back and just kind of keep an eye on the door and see if I can watch anybody else go through it again.
Okay. How long are you going to wait?
Until someone else goes through it or about 30 minutes pass.
Okay. Good to know. Gold. So it has been an hour.
I'm gonna
You haven't found any pet shelters.
continue my search for animal shelter.
All right. Give me another investigation check.
It's not.
5.
Okay.
I'm gonna say
It's
2 hours this time.
2 hours? Okay. It takes you all of 2 hours. So you've been doing this for 3 hours. But by sheer luck, if you'd only done 1 hour, it was DC 10. I'm just letting you know. But by sheer luck, you feel like you should just give up. And you're like, ah. And you look over to your left. And wait a minute. I've passed this place 3 times. And you look at the sign, and carved on it just looks like a little puppy's face next to a little kitten's face, next to a little rabbit's face. And you're like, I didn't even think to check that. I thought that was some weird kind of tavern name or something. What the fuck?
thought it was for
But you figure you might as well look, and as you open the door and look, sure enough, this place you have passed like 3 times already is indeed some kind of animal shelter.
Finally! Well, I would like to go in said animal shelter, and I would like to make my way to someone who looks like they work there.
Making you
Walking fast. Walking so fast.
Okay, yeah, there's a couple people seem to be working in there. Both of them seem to be kind of busy doing stuff with the animals, like feeding, grooming a little bit, or whatever, taking care of duties with some of these animals. Duty.
Fecal matter.
But yeah, you can get their attention. It's one guy, one girl.
Hey, I was wondering if you guys needed any help around here. Just wanted to volunteer a day.
And who are you?
I'm from the Freelancers Association.
We can't pay you.
Not worried about that. I just wanted to spend some time with animals. I figured these ones would need it.
Give me a persuasion check.
Give him the puppy dog eyes.
Oh, with how my rolls have been going, let's see, baby. 4. I rolled a 5 for the last 3 rolls.
No cute puppies for you. Get out of my animal shop.
This young half-elven man that you're speaking with looks at you and goes, I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, really? You just walk in off the street and you're gonna offer to help?
Yeah, I've got nothing better to do today. It's like I'm going out and killing goblins.
But I love goblins.
You compare going to a pet store to killing goblins?
I'm taking a break, fucker.
The female that's working there notices your discussion between you two. Looks over and sees you talking to this guy. Walks up, and you kind of see out of the corner of your eye, she kind of comes up behind you, and she goes, Jasper, I don't want to clean up Bessie's, stuff anymore. If he wants to help, let him do it. He looks at her, and he looks at you, and he goes, I swear, he's actually got, just this little dagger in his hand. Looks like he was using it maybe to cut open a bag of food or something like that.
I'm going to exaggerate and hold my hands up.
And he's just got it in his hand, and he's like, you harm any one of these animals, I'll get you.
I won't, I swear.
I'll get you. It'll look like a bloody accident.
Freelance association or not, you don't look that tough. This guy's got like half an ounce of muscle on his entire body, and he's just like, in your face.
I'm scared so much I can't even speak.
Okay.
Whoa, just calm down, bro.
He's like, all right, fine. And he kind of, looks at the girl and give me an insight check.
Oh boy, let's see if it's anything lower than a 5. Insight.
Oh,
Ooh, wow.
you did it.
22.
Wow, yeah. He is clearly just head over heels for this girl and doing whatever she wants. That's the only reason he said yes, you could tell. Yeah, and he's trying to act tough, but
Play into it, man.
you're not getting that same vibe from her. You're getting, in fact, she seems to be looking at you a little too closely.
With your 8
girl,
charisma.
dog.
Mm-hmm.
I can have a low charisma and still be good looking.
Yeah. And I mean, sometimes ugly guys get the girl.
I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know. I'm gorgeous.
I'm just training my minion.
All right, so you get assigned to clean up Bessie's leavings. So you are directed to the back, where you see Bessie, a dire boar.
A dire
So
boar.
that's the most cow name ever.
Yeah, that has clearly. It seems to be like it's domesticated though, because she doesn't seem very violent, and she's just a big ass boar, and she has definitely left a lot of shit. I mean, we're talking, like
So much
16-inch
shit on the
pizza
ground.
pie. I mean, it's like big old cow pies, except it's dire boar pies. And you get handed a shovel. Jasper's got a big old smile on his face when he does that. He's like, have fun.
What do you certainly will.
Humans. Okay.
While I'm doing so, I'd like to go ahead and cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
I'd like to just try and have a conversation with the dire boar while cleaning up its shit.
It's going to be an awkward conversation.
So this is what you wanted, pet pal.
Dire boar.
Stick around, friend. I got a fresh one brewing for you.
Two can play at that game. Removes pants.
They're going to think it's you. But then I have to clean it anyway, so maybe this isn't a good plan.
Yeah, wait a minute. I gotta show up my own shit. Alright, so you cast your spell. What do you say?
Hey, how's it going there?
Shake and bacon.
That's all you say is how's it going there?
Yeah, just to get its attention, see how it responds.
Hungry. Want some food. Food. Corn. Start digging in the dirt. It's like, corn. You like corn? I like corn. Corn.
Corn is delicious.
Where's more food?
Stimulating conversation.
Not the most intelligent creatures, guys.
No, that's pretty smart.
That's probably exactly what they'd be saying, too. That's the funny part.
No, I like that. I'm just gonna go ahead and do my work then.
Okay. All right. So, Persephone, you're waiting there for about 20 minutes. And someone else kind of walks up. They kind of look at you just standing there. And you go, you don't know how to get in, do you?
I push my boobs up.
Oh,
Roll persuasion.
Can I
Does
roll
pushing
it
your
with
boobs up give
advantage because
advantage?
I have boobs?
that's
So
how it works
does
in real
she.
life.
Oh, okay.
Bop, bop.
That's
She
fine.
is.
That's fine.
Know
She
your
might be
audience.
into it, but
Know
Well,
your
that's
audience.
we'll just find out.
17.
Alright, definitely beats what I rolled.
Alright.
So, she's like, it's all good, sister. She reaches over to the weapon rack that I mentioned before, grabs one of the spears, gives it just a slight tug. It kind of leans forward. Door swings open.
I pull out my notebook. Tug on spear.
Tug on the shaft.
That's an
Tug
innuendo.
on the shaft.
I'm surprised she didn't catch that the first time. She's done that
Fucking
before.
right
Yep.
over my head.
So, you now know how to get in the door.
Thank you.
Do you go?
I'm gonna pass right now because I'm
Okay.
trying to not continue to split the group forever. I'm gonna run to the shop situation that they have in here.
Okay.
I want help.
Are you going to the actual
The one I have
store
to
or
pay
the
for.
record?
The one
okay.
I pay for.
Actual store.
I
Okay.
want health potions and ball bearings. That's all I'm looking for.
Health potions and ball bearings.
Yep.
All right. Looking for ball bearings. See if they even have that in the book.
Or something that'll
yeah.
work similar to ball
You know what,
bearings, just
I will call it
like a thing of jacks or
Yeah.
something in that concept. Well, like a bag of them.
Let's say
Nothing-
yes.
nothing crazy.
You can find a bag of 100 smooth steel, perfectly round or perfectly spherical ball bearings. It's a sack about like this big, like a cantaloupe size. I mean, there's quite a bit in there. There's like, based on their size, you estimate there's probably like 50 in there.
Okay.
It's a bit heavy, and that's a bit of metal, so that's going to cost 20 gold.
They have anything lighter or smaller.
What do you want it for?
'Cause I want like a handful of ball bearings.
Just a
handful
handful.
of
Yes.
balls.
Well, we normally sell this in, this kind of sack.
Alright, fine, I'll take the sack. You
Okay.
said 20?
20 gold.
Okay,
But, I mean, that's like 50 ball bearings in there.
that's fine.
They're decent size, but
And
you
then-
you figure that's enough for like 3 or 4 reach in the bag, throw out a bunch, as an obstacle for people kind of thing.
Mhm.
So 3 or 4 times of doing that, you might,
Mhm.
be good.
And then health potions.
Health potions. All right. Well, let's see what we got. Well, looks like a lot of people have been clearing us out. Well, we actually have 4 left.
How much?
Oh, that 50 gold each.
That's what, 200 for 4?
Yes,
Okay.
that is math.
Yep, I will take it.
All right.
And what
Put it on Gold's tail.
are the regular?
Those are standard healing potions. But that's it. You just cleaned us out.
Cool.
These are
Thank
the last
you.
4 we had.
And then I have one more quick adventure, and then I'm good.
And that is?
I want to go visit Snoople.
Okay. You start making your way over there. It's going to take you a little time because you got to,
I still got
it's
a
about
horsey, though.
you got the horse. So
Yeah.
still, about 15-20 minutes to get back towards the honey pot, and then it's another 10-15 minutes to get over towards the docks. So it's going to take you a little bit of time. Okay, Leon.
Yes.
So you said about 2 hours.
Yep.
Of work with the boy. Well, the first hour went pretty well.
All right.
You feel like his stance is improving, and his posture with the dagger is also improving. But as you kind of move into the second hour, it's clearly you're working him a little bit hard, and he's not used to this.
All right.
He's not really getting any better that second hour. He kind of seems to be tired, but he's trying. But it's just not sticking.
Not clicking too much.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think now is a good time to stop. I'm seeing some actual good progress, and I think you should be proud of yourself. And
Okay, but I mean, all I did was like stand here and stab thin air. I mean, how's that going to help me?
all right. Tell you what. You might you might catch me off guard, and you might end up taking the upper hand here. But odds are I'm going to give you quite a fight if you accept. If you want, we can go for a proper sparring match, and you can show me your mettle. If that's more practical for you.
I mean, I guess. I mean, I've never had to stab anyone before, but
Well, the goal is not to stab me. We stopped short of ever landing a blow to indicate that would be, well, a supposed point to our side. So if I have my blade up against your arm like this, that's a point for me. And likewise for you. Just
Okay.
going back and forth.
okay. Yeah, why not?
Alright?
So what do we, like, go to points or something, or
let's say first until 7 points. 7 is a good number.
7? Okay. All right. So give me a quick initiative roll.
I got a 19.
You're definitely first.
I forfeit initiative to him.
Okay. What's your AC?
16.
And as you forfeit initiative to him, you realize kid's quicker than you thought. You kind of let your guard down just for a little bit to kind of give him that initiative, and he kind of steps up and daggers right at your chest.
That's a point to you. Well done.
He's got a big old smile on his face right now.
Mhm.
He steps back. Your turn.
Alright, I'm going to go for a strike. I'm going to assume a 23 hits.
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, boom. Point to you.
Alright.
Easily. Okay. He attempts to come back at you. And you easily sidestep out of the way.
Alright. Remember to keep your eyes on both your blade and your adversary. That's an at 20.
As you quickly stepping out of the way of his strike, you actually stick your foot out, trip him.
Oh.
He spins, lands on his butt, and you've got your rapier inches from his throat. And you say, "That, my friend, is 2 points."
Alright, nice.
As you now lead 3-1.
3-1, alright.
You then, I assume, help him up.
Yes.
He seems a little frustrated, but he kind of steels himself, attempts to come back at you. Cocked. That jumped on the other dice.
You got an at 20 as well?
We just... As he stands back up, you can see his anger seems to be getting the best of him, but he kind of takes a deep breath, calms himself, and you see he's got some focus in his eyes. He put himself into the stance, and he lunges forward, and as you swing your rapier around to deflect, he ducks and comes up under with the dagger like up under your arm to where the artery in your armpit would be. And he says, "I think that's 2 points."
You'd be right. You've got some real fire in you. Let's keep going.
Alright, so it is 3-3.
3-3. That's a 16.
And you spin away from his strike and whip back around, and as he attempts to kind of jump back and get in his stance, he misses his footing a little bit because he's still not quite comfortable with it, and you see it happen before it does. You can anticipate his moves as you just lay your blade across his shoulder to say, "That's 1."
All right.
It is 4-3 now. And as he kind of flicks your rapier away with his dagger and lunges forward, he has not yet got his footing, and you just spin gracefully away. Still 4-3. Your turn.
I'll take the dodge action.
Okay. And once again, he kind of tries to spin around and swing to catch you, but you are not where he expected, and once again, he misses.
And now I'll go for an attack. That's going to be a 24.
As you actually, almost like you were invisible, even though you did not use your ability to go invisible, almost like you were invisible, he's like, you weren't where he expected as he swung around, and he just feels a tap on his shoulder from your blade from behind. As you're like, point to me.
That's 5-3.
5-3. You can clearly see he's frustrated by this. And instead of doing what you would anticipate, would be to duck and move forward out of the way, away from you. He actually drops back almost onto his butt and kind of rolls off towards you, but just to the side, coming up with the dagger right against your ribs.
Impressive.
It is 5-4.
Go for another attack. That is a 13, I believe.
That will get him as you slap the dagger away, spin your rapier around, and just bring it up under his chin. 6 to 4.
1 point away, Jonathan. Make it count.
And as the rapier comes up, it just barely nicks his skin a little bit, causing just enough to make him flinch a little bit and wince as he kind of tries to move away and get back into the stance and then drive forward at you with a thrust, but he just doesn't connect.
All right. And with one final attack, it's another 13.
As he lunges forward with that last attack, you simply take your rapier, sidestep, and smack him on the ass. 7 points to 4.
Game point. Jonathan, you should be incredibly proud of yourself. That was...
But I lost.
Well, I've been doing this for years. But that, your first day, it's not about losing, it's about learning. And you, like I correctly guessed, caught me off guard quite a number of times, especially with that first counterattack after I knocked you over. That was some serious technique.
Give me a persuasion check.
Technique! Alright, that is an 11.
Okay. He smiles. A little bit of a cocky smile. Okay. To be honest, I'm exhausted now, though.
We can take it easy for the rest of the day. You've certainly earned it, and once the group has regrouped, you'll get to meet them, and I'll pay for dinner as well. And I think sometime you should sign up for the guild.
Really?
Well, more training, of course, but I think my friend Gould would say something like, it's better to train out there or something.
Alright. So, that happens there. So now we're moving back to these two, once again. But before we do, I'm giving you a point of inspiration for that line of, it's not about losing, it's about learning. Because that just, I like that. That was good.
You made Papa proud, son.
Mm-hmm.
You made Papa real proud.
We got 5 now, boys.
Alright. So, Ajax and Tomer.
Yeah.
What you doing?
I'm heading to the library.
I am also heading to the library.
Okay. What are you librarying?
I'm
wants
looking
to
for
learn
books on magic.
And I'm going to help him.
Okay.
Darker magic.
Darker magic. Like, what in specific? Are you looking for, like, necromancy stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
What's your arcana?
That's a good question.
I have a +1 to arcana. I don't know if it's going to go for that or something else.
Again, I'm just kind of flavoring the spells I've already learned. I'm writing them in appropriately. Arcana check is +0. I have 10 in.
All I did was search for something specific.
Oh, I see what you're getting at.
Yeah.
So, it takes you a little bit of time. You finally leave Eastgate because there ain't no libraries over here.
Yeah.
No way.
I won't say I
They
figured
don't
it
do
out.
no book learning over here.
In fact, you actually have to make your way up to Northgate to find a good library.
It's fair. It's a
You've
nice
You've been there
day.
before.
I know that.
Tomer knows exactly the way. So
All right, well, then you lead the way, pal.
it takes you some time, but you get up there, and when you're up there, you notice currently at the kind of the admissions desk, so to speak, the worker sitting there looks to be an elderly gnomish gentleman, and he's sitting there. He's got some kind of wire-rimmed, round glasses on that are attached to like a little stick. And he's looking through those, looking at a book, and he's like turning the pages one at a time. Just sitting at the desk.
Excuse me, sir.
Hey, yes, Sonny, what can I do for you?
We're looking for some books on Arcana, mainly necromancy.
The arcane art.
Yes.
Yes. Hold on 1 second. Okay.
And he kind of hops off his little chair that he's on and kind of actually climbs down it like a ladder almost to get to the ground floor. And his head is like barely sticking up over the desk when he's on the floor. He comes around, comes over to you guys, and he looks up at both of you, who are very tall. You're taller, but still, you're both very tall. He looks up at both of you and says,
He puts his glasses up, looks up.
I'll bend down to see if it makes it easier for him to look at our faces.
Yeah, I was going to do the same.
He looked at you for a second there, Tomer.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm just like,
Interesting. Haven't seen that in a while.
He looks at you and goes,
Haven't seen that ever.
yeah, there's
Okay.
not a whole lot of us running around these days.
No. I imagine. Okay. I suppose, follow me.
and he leads you up to the third floor, all the way into the east wing of the library.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually he's going through a couple aisles and he points at it and he's like,
Up there, way up there, like, your elbow height. Way up there.
I'll grab it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that section right there. That should be necromancy.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Others are through here too.
I'll take out a coin and give it to him and be like, donation to the library. Thank
Oh,
you for your patronage.
thank you.
That's kind of you.
and he hustles off and his two little legs just and kind of moving
That
off.
was a bit of a walk for the guy. He does good work.
Yeah, for as old as he was, he moved pretty spryly.
Yeah.
So I'm going to browse the shelf and I'm just going to pick one that looks relevant to my interest, casting
I'm gonna try to-
spells.
So you're looking just at necromantic spells in general.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just kind of researching it.
Yeah, and you get a lot of the theory of necromantic magic. You know, things about where does the energy for necromancy come from? Is it just part of the arcane energy overall and just shaped in a specific way? How is it shaped? How do we channel energy into the dead specifically? And how does that same energy, also called necromancy, channeled into giving life? I mean, it's very esoteric information. Give me an intelligence check.
Oh, no.
Assist.
Oh, yeah, I got a 17.
Okay. You actually seem to be understanding some of this. It's just, this is a difficult topic to research, but you're picking up on it. They're using a lot of, like, highly academic language. with it.
Mm-hmm.
But you're getting the general feel for it. What is your overall goal? Are you trying to just...
I have one spell that I've tried to use a couple times, and I missed the attacks, but I'm writing it off as I just didn't know.
Toll the Dead? Or
No, that
no.
one I haven't used yet.
No.
I'm Inflict Wounds.
Inflict Wounds? Okay.
I've
Yeah.
attempted to use it a few times and failed, so I'm trying to...
You're just trying to figure out...
what's going on with
Yeah.
all that. I haven't had to use Spare the Dying yet, but
Yeah.
I'm kind of writing it all in here.
Yeah, you definitely are seeing. Okay, this is
And
making a little more sense.
Mhm.
Okay, so you're getting a better feel for a better understanding of it. How well you can pull it off, and when the time counts, yet to be seen.
Mhm.
All right, Tomer, are you doing anything else other than helping him look for
I'm
something?
just helping him look for it,
Okay.
and then if he needs any advice on the other sections that I already know about, since we've already been here,
Okay.
just point out some few things, and then whenever we head back, I will stop at the soap shop again.
Sounds good. I appreciate you hanging out with me today,
At
pal.
which shop?
The
soap?
soap shop,
Okay.
because I gave my last bar to him so he could
Okay.
pay them.
Yeah, you stopped by there. You managed to find the soaps you're looking for, or whatever, however many. Just go ahead and subtract however much I said last time. For it. But yeah, you're covered there.
Traveling around with a
Persephone.
friend is much more pleasant.
Right. What are you doing
Snooble.
there? That's right, Snooble. You arrive at the docks at Snooble's residence. His fantastical residence is so fancy.
Is he home?
I don't know. You going in? All right.
Snoop's always around.
When you go in, you don't see him in there, but that doesn't mean anything.
I'm gonna find a spot to sit and hang out for him and Snoople.
Snoops.
When you say that, the one of the other little kind of porthole windows on the side of this, not the same one you've seen him use before, but one that's like another portion of this piece of boat that's been turned into kind of a structure. He all of a sudden like pops through it, but not like he came through the window. Like you've seen him do this before. It's like a portal. And he kind of pops through and he goes,
Oh, it's you. You're back.
Yes, I
oh,
I have more for you. Do you have more for me?
what'd you bring me?
I pull out a handful of ball bearings.
Snoops.
He takes one. He tries to bite it, and he,
Ow!
not
I hurt
to
my
eat.
teeth.
Not to eat, for pranks.
he kind of looks at you funny for a little bit
You're a
and
monster.
stares at it, thinking about it.
Monster frisbee.
And then his eyes go wide, which he's already got like eyes that are just huge for the size of his head. And these things going wide, it's like you're looking at two softballs, sticking out of a basketball. I mean, he's just like,
I gotcha. Me see. Oh.
Yeah, hand him a handful.
and he just takes him and he kind of throws him on the floor, watches him roll around.
Good pranks.
And he goes and starts gathering them all up.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You.
You have anything for me?
Oh. You mean rocks?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Snooble's got rocks. I found some rocks.
And he goes into like his little stash area. You see him kind of, pull some wood away from the little hidey hole he's got. And he pulls out this dirty cloth. And it seems to be kind of like wrapped up a little bit. He picks it up and he places it in your hand.
I'm gonna take a look at it. What is it?
Okay. As you open it up, you see several different stones. Different kinds. Give me an intelligence check to figure out if you know what each of these different types are.
Intelligence, 6.
Okay.
They're pretty.
That's clearly a pearl.
Uh-huh.
You're not sure about the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
They could be gemstone valuable, or it could just be pretty.
Mm-hmm.
But They all look nice. I mean, this is clearly a pearl. If you've seen pearls before, you know exactly what a pearl looks like. This one, you're not sure. It kind of a greenish color. It's pretty small, but it seems to be well cut, and it's greenish. There also is this one that has some interesting facets to it. It's more of an oval kind of shape the way it's cut, but it is jet black. And then there's a couple other smaller ones. Some have kind of like some browns and blacks and grays, like shiny browns and blacks and grays in them. One's like got this bright orange. And then there's a little red one as well. So in total, there's like 7 or 8 little stones.
Okay.
You're not sure the value because you don't know what they all are. You estimate a pearl that size, that could be worth, 5 to 10 gold on its own.
Okay. I will thank Snooble. I'll hand him a couple more little ball bearings on my way out, and then I'll be on my merry way.
Okay.
I'm gonna head back to the honey pot.
Okay. It is starting for all of you to get pretty close to dinner time. Okay. So, does anyone have anything else they wish to do before you guys get back for dinner?
Oh, we're heading back.
I'm good.
I'm
already there.
I thought that's 100% what you wanted to do.
Okay.
Nope.
So, at this point then, you guys have arrived back at the honey pot, and you enjoy a nice dinner and converse, and we're going to take a short break for bathroom. Okay, so it is dinner time. You guys enjoy a healthy, hearty dinner at the Honey Pot Inn with one new addition. As all of you see that Leon has brought a young man to the dining table with you and is paying for him.
How young of a man?
Late teens,
You stay
early
away
20s.
from
Oh.
You're not exactly
Sweet
sure.
boy alone.
Late teens, early 20s. He's legally by the standards of this kind of society, you would call him a man. But, there's still that little bit of childishness to his appearance, to the way he carries himself, those kind of things.
Hey, Leon, he's the kid.
Well, would you like to introduce yourself?
I guess.
I'm eyeballing him like.
So am I. I'm just gonna give him the weird stink.
Alright, roll intimidation.
Oh, fuck you, man.
I'm not trying to intimidate him. I'm just kind of eyeballing him, seeing
Oh,
what.
I know. I just need to know how intimidating you are naturally.
I have +4.
And you said I can
Oh, I'm
apply
sorry, we want a
strength
natural
to that
intimidation.
instead of charisma.
We want a natural intimidation.
16.
19.
He looks at you two, and he looks back at Leon. He's just kind of not saying anything.
Oh, come on. They're the muscle of our group. Of course they're going to be a little bit spooky.
They're a bit dainty, aren't they?
I extend my hand for a handshake. Nice
He
to meet you.
slowly reaches out. His hand is like about 2/3 the size of yours.
I don't squeeze hard, but it's
Yeah.
just I give him
And
a
he-
firm handshake.
I'm gonna look at him and be like, "You drink?"
Name's Ajax,
Well,
and I second that question.
You drink, boy.
You're buying.
Sounds like my
I
kind of man.
pass him the cup that I had in
He
order.
kind of has a smile on his face when he says that. He's like, "Should I push this?" Okay.
If he gives Ajax his cup, I'll give him my half-empty cup. All right, finish these. 2 more over here.
His eyebrows go up, and he's like, and you kind of tell that the tension is broken. He's like, "I'm Jonathan. Nice to
Name's
meet you all."
Ajax.
And he takes both those mugs, and he's just like,
Attaboy.
There it is. That's the only way you're gonna be strong in this.
"Yeah."
That'll put some hair on your chest.
3 more.
3 more each.
Leon,
No. 3
what's
more.
your
1,
intentions
2,
with
3.
this man?
You can't
I'd
order
like
them
to
all at the
lead
same
him down
time.
a righteous
Okay.
path under my tutorship.
Leon, what are your intentions with my boy?
What are you to do with the child?
Just general merrymaking. We all clang the
General
The
tomfoolery.
tankards together and drink heartily.
As
Okay.
long as it doesn't interfere with our work.
Well, would you like to also introduce yourself? These two have.
Come on,
You go ahead,
Gold,
Percy.
don't be a stick in the mud. Say something to the kid.
Persephone, and my eyes glow like fire.
He ain't looking at your eyes.
Oh, I'm aware, but they have
Hey, and
been
he's got his
anyway.
mind on the
Window.
Those are the eyes of the soul.
No, he is staring directly at your beautiful pair of horns.
Oh, horns.
Yes.
God.
No, he's looking at
Tracks
your
of
eyes.
horns.
Not really looking at your eyes. He's looking there and just kind of like, you can tell it's one of those.
He's human, yes?
Yeah, you can
Okay.
tell it's one of those. I haven't seen that before, you know. And the same thing with Ajax too. It's like, this is such an odd group. It's like, you two, he gets. Elf, half elf, gets that shit. You, he's like, where the fuck did this thing come from? You, he's like, did that crawl out of hell? And
Yes.
you, he's like, I thought they were all dead. You know?
I haven't even seen
Even though you're not
like-
full orc, he's like, you know.
You can still tell by the
Yeah.
pictures.
You know, so it's, okay, he's loosened up, but you could tell he's a little weirded out by the looks of your group overall. It's just
That's fair.
an odd collection. You know? Like no D&D party ever is. Never.
All human fighters.
Yes, all just human fighters. That's it.
The best.
Suck.
D&D party.
So,
The
I was
best D&D
thinking-
party is all variant human clerics.
Ah.
Every single one.
oh, that would be painful.
Fair and balanced.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes.
I was
anyway.
thinking of introducing him to the guild once we next get the chance.
Oh,
That is part
speaking
of-
of the guild, I got an adventure.
Do go on.
You'll have to. be
I have
there
a
to
worried
believe
look
it.
on my face.
You want to know what we're up against in these trials, do you not?
I mean, that could help.
Yes.
Knowing is half the battle.
Hey, you know how Gold is. He likes to know where we're going before we do anything else, so might as well just check it out.
I'd like to be as prepared as him from now on, so I can agree with his reasoning.
Will they allow him
That's
in the
fair.
guild if he comes with us?
No.
I
He has to be a member.
You'll have to sign
I think
up
you're
and-
allowed to wander around,
You'll
but
have to
maybe
form a
some of the areas are restricted, right? So,
He
Well,
ain't
I'm
gonna
sure
be
they
able to
don't just allow anybody to walk around.
well, I
there.
was saying maybe, but I meant that yes, some of the areas are restricted.
He'll have to form his own little group.
Unless you go with his daddy.
That's the next question. I suppose it is up to you and group consensus, but what do you think that, Jonathan, if you were to join the guild, where would your steps be from there?
I don't even know. I mean, you just mentioned this just a couple hours ago. Not even. I've never even thought of that as something before.
Jonathan, may I? What skills do you possess outside of the swordsplay that Leon's teaching?
I don't know.
What have you been good at? Music.
Staying alive.
Staying alive.
Give me a perception check. Everyone can give me a perception. Everyone can give me a perception check.
17.
Oh,
Fuck
man,
me.
these dice are being good to me.
24.
11.
18.
Now, let me see my plus again. I got 19.
As you're asking him these questions, you and only you do notice that he has pulled one of your shoelaces, like reached down and like pulled a lace off of your boot. He's got jokes. And like grabbed it. Do you stop him or do you just notice
I'm gonna crush his hand with my foot.
That's rude.
it? Well, it's not like underneath your foot. It's like on top of your
It's like you were
I know.
sitting
I have
just
another.
there
I have
like-
another.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Smash
Yeah,
it
no.
between
So you're Oh.
So that's how you've gotten around your crafting.
Sneaky little white rainy.
A little.
Clearly,
How did
only
you
a
see
little.
that?
He sees everything.
Elf
I'm
eyes see
observant.
all.
He's
I
what
think-
we call a watcher.
He sees a little more than everything.
I whisper, nothing gets past him.
What you also saw, though, too, is because he's kind of sitting between you two, just kind of like I am here, that you didn't notice. He also took something off of Leon's belt, and then he just kind of sets it on the table. It's just one of your pouches.
looks like someone's little
Wouldn't you know? Yes, I think he does have quite a diverse set of skills. I wanted him to use them for a good cause. I put the pouch back.
Well, I'm impressed, but not ready to considering letting him join our group just yet.
Of course not. I just thought I'd entertain the idea.
No, the idea is valid. We'd have to put him to the test, of course.
He's got to fight Ajax 1-1.
No.
No way, man.
I'm fucking.
I'm gonna need another drink.
You're gonna be fighting her.
Okay.
I waved
like
down
that
the
idea.
waiter or waitress for another drink.
Okay.
But
We'll see how this goes.
let me sleep on it. I'll come up with a test for you.
Thank you, Gold. I really appreciate this. I knew I could count on you.
Think nothing of it.
And as for back to you, Jonathan, something that you'll have to come to terms with is that we won't always be here, and that's not something that we do in order to act maliciously towards you. The life of an adventurer is a very fickle one, and we're doing it for what I consider to be justice.
I already forgave you, okay?
Well, I told you to
But-
give me a chance. I didn't expect you to forgive me.
Well,
I think he's trying to say we have no home. We do it.
I understand, but all I'm saying is, you know, not that I'm taking back forgiving you, but you tell someone, hey, meet me in 3 days the first time you meet them, and then you're not there, kind of does leave a bad impression.
That's why I don't blame you.
We got a good reason, though, I swear, and I start recanting the story of our adventure that day that happened.
Where we cheesed a bunch of zombies.
Zombies and
Slowly playing a melody in the
He
background.
downs another beer during your tale.
I'm exaggerating a lot of details.
There was an
Surprisingly,
There was
dragon.
thousands
Yeah.
of zombies.
Surprisingly, he seems fairly alert, and he's attentive even after downing 3 beers. So, and then we're not talking like, beer. We're talking, these are like
Tankards.
tankards.
Yeah, this is what we drink on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And if anything, Gold, and you can always train them in the military ways if they need a little extra combat readiness.
Yeah, we could do that.
Give you a little.
I think all of y'all could use a refresher.
I'm fine where I'm at.
I have an idea.
Is my idea just fucking gone?
What is your idea?
Well,
I don't recall you mentioning your idea, Percy.
You wanted to know what we were up against in our upcoming battle, did you not?
Oh, this is entirely separate from that.
No shit.
We can go there tomorrow. I'm assuming someone else is going to be on trial tomorrow. might as well.
I was thinking of putting all of y'all in the ring. See how y'all do.
I ain't
Oh, you're gonna.
I ain't no foot.
You're gonna put us to the test.
Like I said, I only
We could all
really
use some standard issue
No, I'm fine.
training.
I can help him practice, but when I fight to kill or defend myself. I don't really do the whole sparring thing.
If I spar, I might.
Oh, but you've done drills.
Let's
True.
just say drills aren't my way of fighting. I'll leave it.
I do have this new thing I wanted to try.
I mean,
That
listen,
sounds awfully malicious.
there's a back alley right now. We can go do some.
Oh no, we're in town. That's probably not a smart
Start a forest fire.
idea.
Burns down the tavern.
Yeah.
Shit.
But yeah, I'm explaining to him why it was urgent and why we had to dip out immediately when we did, and
All right.
telling him about what happened on it, and
He's listening.
It went from an excuse to sharing a cool story.
Actually, Gold.
And he's actually listening and drinking, but he's seeming to kind of be enjoying your story and be like, oh, wow.
Gold.
Don't know if he believes all of it, but he definitely is listening.
And I'll make sure to tell him as well, like, you can't go around spreading this to everyone.
Hey, Gold.
I love that.
I might have a mini test for the kid if you want to.
Inspiration.
It might help us out in the long run if you want to try to do something.
I'm all ears. What you got?
So you know what happened at the Horny Halfling?
That ended up well.
Maybe we can use him to get us some information that, since our faces are probably known around that area, see if he can snoop out some stuff for us. It's not hard. It's an easy
I'm
task.
not welcome there.
Neither am I.
I'd rather not send him off to...
Oh, he won't be alone.
All he's got to do is gather information. That's
I'd
not
also
that
rather
hard.
not send him with
Just to
you.
look around the Horny Halfling and find anything.
Jonathan, quick.
That boy don't need to be going in there.
Be cautious around her.
I know what y'all were up to. I went there
Okay.
myself. Sickos.
I'll keep that in mind.
Hey, John, how old are you?
Oh, I'm 19.
He's a man. He can do it.
Yeah.
At least, I think the orphanage never really told me when my birthday was.
Well, from one orphan to another,
That place is nothing but trouble.
at this point, you can just say whatever age you feel like.
I'm 19.
No,
yet.
no, you can't.
Listen,
That's not how that works.
listen.
I mean, he can. It just won't be true.
I've been where he's been. At this point, birthdays and age don't mean shit.
You know how
Well,
often
raise
I
your
lie
hand if
about
you're an
my
orphan.
age.
Yeah.
David.
Well, then he's fine. Let him be whatever age he wants to be. Fuck it.
Wait a minute. All orphans?
Welcome to the club. Here's your honorary badge.
You gotta change the name now.
Welcome to the life of an adventurer.
The parentless.
Percy has I hate my dad classes on Thursdays. I have my mom never did shit classes on Fridays.
There's a seminar on Tuesday, so bring cookies.
Can't throw a stick without hitting the sad backstory.
For the audience at home, when I asked if who's all orphans, everyone raised their hand.
Hey, I got an idea. What if you try to get him a job here? That way he can train with us when we ever come back. We can make some gold on the side doing honest work.
They did say they were hiring.
Well,
That's not
there's
the
an
best
option.
idea for all day.
I know the owners.
We all do, Persephone.
So, like, a real job?
Listen,
real job.
it'll be a warm roof under your head, food, we'll make some coin, and then whenever we come back, we can train you
So,
because we know where you're
wait, so they'll let me have a room?
Yes.
I
I'll
assume
take it.
so.
You are speaking for people.
Yeah,
who
I'm
haven't
not
said
gonna
shit.
put words in their mouth, but I mean, you'll
butter
make
them
enough
up,
to
we know
afford
them
them.
I
good.
just said if we pay for it, yeah.
But that's also a thing. We can
Coming out of your allowance.
I guess,
I don't have an allowance.
That's my point.
I'd be willing to give that a shot.
sure. Let's
Let's, somebody want to grab a...
Leon, you're up. He's your responsibility.
Grab a...
Go play
Go
daddy.
talk to the owner.
Okay.
get this boy a job.
Maxwell Goodman,
Yes?
you mentioned you were hiring recently, and I'm not asking for me.
Yes, I'm thinking about it.
Well, thinking of it. Would you be willing to hire in my good friend here, Jonathan? And I point over, I motion over him to come walk over.
He stands up and he comes over. And he reaches his hand out to Maxwell. He's like, hello, sir. I'm Jonathan. Maxwell kind of looks him over. Says, does he know how to work? Does he be a layabout?
Well, you know, I can verify. He's a hard worker. He's a survivor.
Good. You're going to need to get cleaned up, though.
Nice.
That will
Fish
do.
from across the bar.
Check, please. That's the check.
Might sound like an easy job, but it's not. You're going to be on your feet all day. You think you can handle that? Yes, sir. Alright, I can afford to pay about 4 silver a day.
Adventure, we're rich or some shit. Oh man.
We are rich.
Yeah.
We should buy a house. I mean, the missions we're getting paid for, we are risking our lives.
What we have to do is buy island property over near the beach coast. And then
So,
Okay,
does that sound good to you? Jonathan's like,
Everyone giving you expensive rocks. How can you be broke?
yeah, I mean, that's good. Leon and them said something about a room.
Would it be possible to arrange that, Maxwell, as long as he's working here?
Tell you what. Pay for a room for the first week. For him. See how he works out. If he's doing a good job, he looks at Jonathan. If we got the space, we'll get you a spot to stay.
Then it's done. I will pay for that first week.
Okay? We'll add that to your tab.
Thank you, Maxwell. You are ever the most reliable friend here.
I'm offended.
Suck it up will get you everywhere.
I'm just gonna look over to what they're doing. Did he get the job?
He just gives a big thumbs up.
Yep,
from
Maxwell
across
just
the room.
kind of looks at you and goes,
We cheer and raise our
Yeah.
drinks and spill some over the sides and bang them together.
and when you do that, he says,
Clean it up.
job number 1, get the mop. And, yep, boom, hops to it immediately.
Hey, big
All
guy.
right.
Refill.
So, you guys enjoy some more drinks. You eventually finish your dinner. Now what?
It's up to y'all. I'm down for whatever.
I mean, we can do my thing in the morning if you really want. So.
Yeah. There's probably trials.
What
every
was
day
your
now.
thing?
You'll see what the trial was.
Does no one fucking listen to me
I
when
will
I
be
talk?
going to
I
watch
doubt
the
the trials are going on right this
That's
second.
what I'm saying. We'll do it tomorrow.
Okay, you said we can do it in the morning. Implying that there was an
I'm
option.
sure it's still going.
What time is it?
I have no idea.
In
Right
real
now
life,
it's like
9:18.
6:30.
Oh, okay, never
Yeah,
mind.
no one's fighting.
I assumed like
this
8 or 9.
Yeah.
I'm gonna spend some time writing out some drills for practice.
Okay. Alright, so you guys all go to bed. Wake up the next morning?
Yeah, we just
Hold on, Persephone's going to somebody's bed.
Oh, yep.
It's Leon's turn.
Oh.
He hasn't had a turn
the
yet.
bard is finally getting some.
The bard's a virgin. He
Right.
closes and locks his door at night.
Mhm.
If you were to walk into the room, you'd see...
I are, yes.
Yes, you are. You would see that at this point Leon is writing in some sort of journal.
And he's wearing a banana hammock
Ah,
and only a
Yes,
banana hammock.
Leon, draw me like one of your French girls.
You've never been much of an artiste. What are you doing here?
Same thing I do literally every other night.
I'm sleeping with you. Take your pants off.
Bend over the bed and prepare yourself.
I didn't know you were into that.
What's
I
your
have
safe
needs,
word?
Leon.
What's my safe-
Tonight you're gonna pull them.
You can have the bed. I have no desire to touch you.
Unless
Now
you're
we're
doing
gonna have
this.
fun.
I'll just be here.
It's gonna be hard
Points
to get.
points to the floor.
Alright, I mean, you have fun with that. I take the bed.
Okay?
Tell me, what does this do for you? Hmm?
Well,
Does
it's,
it get you off, huh?
I mean, sometimes. Not right now.
Before I go to bed, I'll knock on Gold's door. Hey!
What? You know, come in.
Alright, this is for you. I leave an extra bar, so I picked up some more, just in case.
I think
Soap guy.
Thank you, Tomer.
No problem. And I look at the paper, yeah, I ain't doing that shit. And I'm gonna go.
Oh, you're gonna love it. Oh, you're gonna love it.
Alright, so...
Retreat back to my room and
Okay. So you guys have a long night's sleep. And you wake up the next morning. Wonderful breakfast. And the day is yours.
How much should I subtract from my coinage?
It's attached to your tab. Don't
Okay.
worry, it will come due eventually.
Yeah, when it's like 200 gold, just
Boink.
It's 1,000 gold pieces.
I will be in debt. Oh boy.
Do you have payment plans?
Yes, it's pay now or go to jail.
Pay now or die.
Take out a loan.
Max will personally be fishing at you.
All right, so we have our breakfast. So what was this plan of yours?
Off to the guild.
A wonderful guild.
Now we needed to pick up a mission anyway.
There's barely.
We
a
may
mission
not
left.
be able to do the
Barely or
It's
none?
not within the doable time frame.
We have to stay in town relatively for the trials,
Hey,
as our trial date's coming up.
you guys can do drills with gold.
How long is the mission? What was the mission?
It's many weeks of
It's a cargo mission, I think.
guarding
weeks.
some dude.
All right, fair enough.
Off to the training ground in Guild Hall, and I go up to the spear appropriately, and I pull on the shaft.
Okay, you yank that
Jerk it a
shaft,
little.
It's gonna give me every time.
and the
So-
stone door opens.
How far away are the trials?
Oh yeah, you
Holy-
guys got
Like
Wait.
many weeks worth of time?
Not that
Oh,
many
yeah.
weeks. Well, I don't know. He made it seem like we don't have enough weeks to do the thing.
So we
I guess
are
we'll find out
currently
over there.
at. You are currently at the 13th of Adriel,
I think we're on with the 28th.
which is
There's
the third day of the week, which is called Burial. And you guys went for the last day of the trials, which is the last day of the month, which is the 48th.
a 48.
So you actually have from today 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks.
We can do it.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
we got that.
It's a possibility. I was lied to initially by Aiden.
Aiden just happens to know our
That guy's
calendar.
wily.
Aiden does a little trolling.
Well, let's
called
let's,
Industrial
We do a little
let's do the
trolling.
thing we came here for
Yeah,
first.
it's called being an elf.
I pulled the shaft.
Ooh.
Okay. Door swings open. You guys head down that way.
Welcome in, boys.
All right. You start going down kind of a stone tunnel, like stone work, various stones that were kind of laid each other like big bricks, and then worked nicely to make a nice kind of smooth, but definitely, I mean, you can see like the mortar around the stones tunnel, and then that doorway closes behind you, and as that door closes, you can now hear, coming from the tunnel ahead, you can hear the sounds of cheering and battle. As you make your way down towards the end of this hallway, and you see the light near the end, you find yourselves coming out of the tunnel into kind of a small space where there are some ladders on either side that go up into what, as far as you can tell, are some kind of platforms way up high. In front of you is just like this big wall, and all the noise seems to be coming from up above. As you make your way up one of the two ladders, whichever direction you choose, you find yourselves emerging onto a platform. This platform is going all the way around as you look out through what looks kind of like glass into a large arena space. And in that arena space, you see somebody is fighting what appears to be some kind of giant stone golem, a giant fire elemental, and some strange lizard creature that is, it's slightly smaller than the golem and the elemental, but it's bigger than any one of you. And it's basically kind of like a square rectangle shape going around it, but it's like a platform going around, and there are several people that are up there watching. And as you are looking down on this fight, everyone roll a perception.
Ooh.
14.
Actually, let's see here.
Also
I'm trying to
13.
think. Actually, you two in specific.
I got a 23.
23. Okay. Well, you had 13?
13.
13. Both 13s.
10 because I don't get advantage.
14.
Okay, so you two, and all of you have seen this before. So lowest was a 10. You don't notice it. You're too fixated on the fight itself, and it's, oh, look at this. This is cool. That looks an awful lot like Harlan in the arena.
Is it only Harland or is it Harland and Friends?
Harlan, not there's no D in it.
Oh, my bad.
Harlan was the himbo, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Looks an awful lot like Harlan in there.
Cheer him on
When you
first.
notice that, and you've seen Harlan before, you've all seen Harlan before because he kind of came up to in the mess hall that one time at the table with you guys and was drinking and hitting on Persephone and all that. Okay. You also notice in there a Goliath that seems to be squaring off against the golem. Riding on his shoulders is a little gnome.
Wait a sec.
Is there a human and an elf?
There is a human,
Dun, dun.
and he seems to be wearing a kind of a dark cloak, as well as some like tight-fitting leather boots and pants, and he's kind of dodging around very quickly with a couple daggers in his hand. And he seems to be trying to position himself around the lizard creature. There is also a wood elf that is standing further away from the group, and you see her hands weave back and forth, and then a firebolt shoot out. And then, another... She's just slinging arcane energy back and forth around the battlefield. And I need another perception check from everyone.
9.
There you go. 6.
Also 6.
7.
23.
Damn.
Mr.
Nice.
Eyes got it.
Mr. Eyes.
Come with me, sir.
I get another secret convo.
Information for Zach.
I'm never gonna touch your dice again, Daniel.
These are my good dice.
I
These are
make
nice.
secret decisions that no one knows.
That's way better.
That one has been nice. I put the nice ones over here. These are the cursed ones.
So which
This one.
ones are cursed?
I roll with that one.
Well, that one mainly, in that. That's not bad. Your dice.
16.
Did you say root beer dice?
Yeah.
2?
You're cursed. Get your curse off my dice. And yes, look at it. It looks like
I mean, I'm
I
wrong.
just rolled 4 2s in a row. It sucks. What the
19.
fuck?
You're the one that's cursed. No, get away. I'm cursed enough. I'm finally rolling good for once. Except that last one.
Unless I can smell them out, there's no way I'm getting advantage on them.
Well, yeah, I was like, do you have advantage on that smell?
I was like, I have smelled them before.
No, I thought you meant his dice. I didn't realize you.
Hopefully I can buy un-effed up dice at Comic-Con. Or Megacon.
How'd your little powwow go?
What'd you find out?
Did you have a good powwow?
That was a good powwow.
Zach Chin.
Was Zach a charm?
That's
When did you
fine.
find that out?
As you are watching this fight raging on, it's pretty clear that the group facing off against this golem, this elemental, and this lizard seems to be kicking their ass. Oh.
Like they're getting their ass whooped or they're winning?
Oh no, they are winning.
They're winning, okay.
Hardcore. As you can already tell, looking down at everything, that golem is, and I said it was stone golem, right? Is got just pieces of it blasted away from either swings of the barbarian's warhammer that has just seemed to crack into it and chip off and break off stone pieces, or blast from the distance from the sorcerer. The lizard is suffering multiple stab wounds in its back as it keeps getting harried at the front by the fighter that looks exactly like Harlan, and stabbed from behind by the other human in the cape and the tight leather boots and pants. And it seems like the little gnome sitting atop the barbarian's shoulders seems to be toying with the fire elemental, keeping it occupied as it is casting winds that are swirling around it, almost holding it in place. And then eventually the fire elemental will break through, only to have a wall of water rush right towards it. And you can almost hear the giggling.
Interesting tactic.
Is there anywhere, either from people talking or like a sign or something that says either their group name or what level they are going for?
You can ask one of the viewers. I bet they.
That's
know.
what I'm saying. Either if
You're
there's
gonna
not a
ask
sign,
around?
if there's not like a
You're gonna
sign that's
ask
pretty
around?
obvious, I'm gonna ask around. Yeah.
I'm going to ask around. She said, "Oh, yeah, that... You haven't heard of these guys before?"
I'm new in town.
Sure, Panthers, perhaps?
No, that's the Firebrands.
Never mind.
Fire brand.
Yeah, the Firebrands.
Okay. Do you know what?
Oh, they're going for a star.
That's the highest one, right?
Yeah. They're already quad A. So they still got a few challenges to go though. But
Doesn't look like they're
based on
struggling much.
based on this, a lot different from last year. They lost a member last year.
Which one's the new one?
Oh, that little guy down there on the
No.
Goliath shoulders. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. They if I remember right, they had some girl before, but she didn't seem like she was into it as much. You know,
Did she
Trying
quit
to-
or did she die?
Oh no. She did not quit. She
Was quit.
yeah. let's just say that she wasn't fireproof.
Ooh, that is an awful way to go.
Yeah.
And you said they're doing significantly better than they did last year?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Interesting. All right, appreciate the
They
information.
they definitely learned some tricks. I mean, look, and that new addition.
Yeah, that is a unique strategy they have there.
Yeah.
It's like a little turret.
Yeah. He seems to be doing the trick. I mean, he's tying up that damn elemental all by himself. That's pretty impressive. Hopefully someday we'll get to that level. That's man, quad A going for star? Jeez. Who are you guys?
We're new here. We're, what rank were we going for?
We're A going for double A. We're the Blue Devils.
We're, this is our first time doing this. We're going for the, double A rank. We're the, Blue Devils.
Ah, nice.
You, may have heard of us. I say half jokingly.
I have now. Nice to meet you, by the way. I'm Samuel.
Nice to meet you.
LJs.
No.
Motherfucker.
Samuel J. Jackson.
Oh,
Cousin.
the lesser known.
What team are you a part of, if you're part of one? Well, I assume you must be if you're here.
Yeah, we call ourselves the Agents Overshore.
That's a cool name.
Thank you.
Overshore.
Yeah, we've
got ties over there.
We've been based out of there for a little while. Based?
What rank are you guys going for?
Oh, jeez. Double A.
Ah, we'll see you out there then.
Yeah. Feel free to watch. I hope we can make it.
Yeah, we've got the last slot, so maybe we could learn a thing or two from watching them.
You say that. Thanks, guinea pigs.
I feel no remorse.
I'm gonna walk over to Gold and be like, maybe that training ain't a bad idea after all.
So now you agree?
Shut up.
Oh, you're gonna love mine.
Listen, it can't be worse than where I grew up.
We better be doing bear crawls and sweating our asses off.
I can do some torture if
No.
we need that.
I'm a little more sadistic than
Hey,
you crawl
Jason.
through mud.
Can I see if I can see the guy that was staring at me
Like
the
the
first time I
twinkle
took
in
off
my
my
eye.
hood in the bar and went around?
No, where I'm
Give me a
sleeping
perception
tonight.
check.
Don't fucking do it. 13.
No, you don't see it.
Okay. That's all I wanted to
You can't tell what he looks like. At least, looking around, looking at her, you can't really tell. So Samuel goes, pardon my manners. This here, my compatriot. This is Grace. And you see this, kind of mousy looking, halfling female. And she says,
Hi, y'all. How you doing?
You're an energetic little one.
Oh, yeah.
I have to walk
She
away.
a squeaky toy.
and the thing you notice,
Ain't you adorable?
is she's got a battle axe strapped to her back.
Oh.
She's the angry one.
That's awesome.
You also see
She appreciates the finer things.
You also see a fairly tall dragonborn. There's not a lot of them around. You're not sure exactly just by looking if it's a male or a female, based on their body shape. But you're guessing based on their clothes and the fact that they introduce themselves as Tasha, that it is a female.
Sophisticated.
She has kind of a dark purple scales with a little bit of like red and blue modeling in them. And she seems very intelligent and maybe even a little bit snobby. But she's being very pleasant towards you all.
Dragonkin. That's don't see many of you around these days.
No, our people tend to stick to ourselves. But,
That's fair.
but I prefer to experience life.
I can respect that. Nice to meet you.
Sounds like a dragonborn I know.
Pleasure to meet you as well.
If I may, I actually don't have that much information on a lot of things in this world. What do the Dragonborn call home?
There are many clans, many different areas. But in general, you'll find us mostly in mountainous regions. For example, Eotris.
Well, thank you.
But it really depends on, well, she looks at her skin and kind of points out our heritage.
Right.
I, for one, prefer warm climates.
I'm more keen on the colder environments myself, but I can respect that.
I'm with him on this one.
Have you ever met a dragonborn named Borel?
I might as well ask you, have you ever met an orc named Buffluff, or Grok, or Tugamuch?
That's my uncle.
jokester, I see. And then finally Samuel goes, and quit hiding and get your butt out here. Be social for once. You see another half one. Kind of saunter up. Yes.
Well, hello. Nice to meet you. My name is Phineas.
Oh no! No, it was bound to happen eventually.
Nice to meet you, Phineas.
Yes, that's right. Phineas Bumblesmoog. Pleasure to meet you.
Always a pleasure to meet a new person.
Oh, I walked away after the mouse.
Oh, okay.
He appears, finally.
Yes, So, what are you guys doing?
We're watching the trials, kind of.
Doing some research.
We're
Oh,
taking
research,
it in.
huh?
We're learning. We're new to this.
Interesting.
Lucy, that's how I know this group's not gonna die, because Phineas is a part of it. What was the battle axe halfling's name?
That was Grace.
Grace, okay, thank you.
All I'm saying is we need like 2 more levels before we do this shit.
Well, I
We'll
mean,
be
that's
fine.
the top tier mission that they're doing.
So, you're doing research.
We're learning. We're seeing what the trials involve. Like I said, we're going into this blind.
We're going for double A.
Well, same here. But, from previous experience, I'll just say this. We cannot talk about our own personal experience in the arenas. And you learn by doing or watching, so that's all we're allowed to say, or it gets us disqualified.
Oh, that's good to know.
That's fine with me.
That is very
Can't
good
talk
to know.
about
I
Fight Club.
appreciate that.
We can't talk about Fight Club? Damn.
No,
Sounds like that
pleasure
was
to
the
meet
first
you.
one. Oh,
Phineas Bumblesmoog.
Goldmere.
I think that the actual
Goldmere,
guild would tell us
okay.
a bit more
I like
about these
that.
sort of things. But...
Gold.
Yeah, it's,
I like gold.
It's different.
Will,
Whatever section you're going for.
you can always,
Yeah, Phineas likes gold more than anything.
Ain't that the truth?
What did you say to him?
My name's Goldmere.
Is he just likes you more because of that? Fair enough.
No, he likes gold more than anything.
Oh. Fair enough.
Is there another tiefling anywhere in the arena?
Perception check.
Assist.
You can
Till.
always double check the rules.
Roll.
You see a mirror.
Desk.
Hey, wait!
Fair
Oh.
Oh,
She
man.
walked
I have
away
no
from
reason
us.
not to
I did.
decide,
I walked
but
away.
it's
Oh, you
always
rolled.
good to
Yeah, once
They brought out
double check.
an annoying mouse chick, and I went, nope, I'm out.
Something. Yes. She's not annoying. She's sweet. Until she gets angry.
I could tell that one's feisty.
But that is what you see as you're having this discussion. You notice, oh shit, the battle has ended. And it looks like the firebrands
Are all
are
dead. Completely
victorious.
dead.
Nope,
Campaign's over.
clearly victorious. And as they leave the fallen bodies of this golem, lizard creature, and basically the dissipated ashes and leavings of a fire elemental behind, walk out of the arena. You see them come up on the other side of the viewing balcony as they come up some steps, and it looks like they're making their way kind of around the crowd through to what you can see on one side of this viewing balcony. Seems to be some kind of door. You guys maybe like a rest area or something like that that they can take a little bit of break in. They make their way over there, and as they're making their way over there, you now all see clearly, because they're being congratulated and pat on the back. You see Harlan in the group, and then Harlan coming and giving a big hug to Harlan and patting him on the back.
See, that was actually my guess. I was confused. I looked at my notes, and then I heard Firebrands, and I said, well, that's not Serpentis. Does he have a twin? But I didn't say it.
He did it. There's a copycat.
And
That's interesting.
That's where we're going to
that's
leave
where
off?
we're going to leave off.
Awesome.
So I want to thank everyone for listening, since we're not on video yet. Yes, also, know the audio may not be the greatest this time. We're still experiencing some audio issues with our new system, trying to get everything fixed and ready to go for the full studio fix-up and lineup. Hopefully we will have that done within a couple weeks, a month. By the time you hear this, it'll probably already be done. Maybe or maybe not the truth, because we're probably going to just dump all of these live on the YouTube channel before we have our first live episode after we've tested everything. So
That's a no one.
yeah, Nat one, putting a pencil away.
You starved yourself with it.
No,
But we hope you guys had a good time. I know I did. I hope my players had a
Yeah, it
good
was
time.
awesome.
I did.
Of course, they split up a lot, so
It was a
some of you-
productive day.
Yeah, some of you had to sit there and wait while the others were doing things, but it
I'm
worked
just
out.
glad I got to interact with Johnny Boy.
Yes. Anyway, that'll be it until next time. Hope you guys enjoyed. Later, everybody.
Take care.
Adios, muchachos.
Well, that's the end of this episode. We hope you'll tune in next week for the next episode of Atavar Ascension.